Hello and welcome to the Digital TCG podcast. I'm your host, Lumus Digital. Here we talk about all things TCGs in our lives. I've got the usual guests with us here today. I have Adam, Trevor, Amy and Shiro here. We have got a main subject for today. We're going to be talking about Glasgow as another regional is coming up, but a few things, side events to talk about first. So, first of all, we're going to talk about locals that have happened as between now and the last one, the ones we can remember, or at least any big ones, because there has been a few that we've been practicing with various decks. Purely for Glasgow, we're not going to say what decks in particular right now, unless people want to say. We'll get more into that in the main subject. But in terms of local results, I'll start off today and yesterday. Won both of them with a very pet deck of mine. Honestly, they're the only wins I think I've had since the last podcast.
Yeah.
I think of that as just been a few tops with various decks. It's been bouncing between the two that I've been thinking about for Glasgow. I don't think other than the last 2 days there's been any wins per se. What about yourself, Adam?
I got third today, which is my first top in a while. Yeah. Apart from that, nothing.
Nothing.
I've just been in a slump, you know.
You have been in a slump.
Did you talk about the Ultimate Cup in the last one?
No, we haven't talked about the Ultimate Cup now.
Oh yeah. To be fair,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that after the quick round.
I forgot about the Ultimate Cup.
Have you been in any local?
It was yesterday.
Yeah, I say it was yesterday.
I didn't even place.
You didn't even. Well, you
did. We talk about her winning
somewhere.
one?
I don't know.
Winning one?
Yeah. When was the last podcast?
To be fair, yeah.
The last podcast is when we were talking about 2.5 and the decks that are relevant.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
So yeah, no, Amy's won a local since then.
What do you want to put? Yeah, no, we haven't talked about that. Oh yeah, so between the last podcast, you won locals at Dragon Scale with Ice Snow.
Yeah. It was a fun win.
It was easy.
So there is that one. I don't know why I'm going to the Bandai TCG app because I'm trying to go to YouTube to quickly try and just see when the last podcast was uploaded. In the meantime,
it's been a while.
Shiro, any ones you want to mention off the top of your head?
I won with Virus Imperial before it's good.
Yeah, that was like 2 weeks ago.
So I won with Gallant and it's pretty overpowered.
The last podcast was posted on the 25th of January.
Oof.
And obviously we normally filmed it like a week or 2 weeks before. So
if Amy's win got mentioned in the last one, we're just bringing it up again.
No, we wouldn't have because we had the deck profiles and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I had it recorded, the deck profile, and if I remember correctly, you brought it up about the fact of it could be changing. So you weren't. So at that point, I was like, I didn't want to put it twice.
Yeah.
Trevor, any toppings or winnings?
From the last time, I do believe I took a top of Dragon Scale with Mastamon, followed by Gromon back to back.
Potentially, yeah, that could have
You got third.
I got third yesterday. I wasn't playing today, obviously, but yeah. Apart from that, there's been a few sort of up there ones. Nothing really.
Yeah, I do apologise for the secrecy of decks and stuff and matches and that, because like I say, with the main subject that we'll get into later in the podcast, the Glasgow Regionals on the 22nd and 23rd of March. We are doing a lot of playtesting with the decks that we're thinking about taking, so we kind of want to...
We can talk about deck choices.
We can talk about deck choices and stuff, but
I have
we
20, so...
We don't want to get into specifics and that, and if we do get into it, it will be later on in the podcast. I just don't want to say anything right now.
I'm stuck between, I think, 3 or 4.
I'm stuck between 2, but other news, so we're Ultimate Cup.
Me and Lumi did online Ultimate Cup 2 some days ago.
Something like
about that, yeah. Pricing just came in the other day, so I actually played with it. But
you now have your play set of Coromons and Orgrimmons, and actually
because I got your one that you got from me,
and have a Geo.
I have a Geo, and I have a Rise Grey.
I know
because I got top 32.
I did not get top 32 sadly.
Or top 64.
No. But I was hoping to get top 64 for a Geo for myself, just since it is the one that's limited to one. Yeah. But
guys, could you not get me one as well? Like, come on.
No.
Should have let us. He is the one that's done more, hence why he's got his playset. And
I'm sure someone has a Geo for you.
You're just gonna have to do another one and one new one.
sadly, I think
that pricing is done now.
the one that our friends Laura and Lucas did last, I think that was the last Ultimate Cup for this prize support.
For that season, yeah. For that wave of prize support.
So that's it. The Shine Grey one's done.
Lara got a Geo Grey.
No,
another Shine player got a Geo Grey.
Other news to go into. We've done our judge test for like the fourth time. Let's be honest.
You know what they say.
It's took a few times, and we've both finally passed at 92%.
Yeah. I am 92% to judge.
I do believe that's not against the rules. So talking about the questions is obviously against the rules, but saying we've passed is not. So finally got that, which means we can actually start judging events and helping out in other ways other than just being at the local shop.
Yeah. I find out the pricing's really nice.
Cool. Pricing is nice.
We had rulings today.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I had a ruling I could have said, but I was in the match. So I didn't want to be the biased person and go, well, this is how it works.
So he got me.
So I had to make sure it's like, look, I agree with you as the player, but I just want to make sure you get the fair play here, so I'm just going to call Adam over.
Yeah. And then I had to intervene in a match and then got debated on. So I brought in head judge.
Yeah, so he's trying to make the banging table go away. Every time he's banging, he's taking the item away. I was doing like that before, and he's just raising my hands. Don't worry. But yeah, like essentially you got appealed, and it was just like, right, head judge, come over. Just like, nope, this is how it goes.
He just kept doing it back with me, and he's like, that's the ruling, and I'm like, it's really not. It's like, I know what it is.
Literally, I just had to came over and just be straight. It's just like, right, explain to me step by step. This swing, burst mode, it dies. I do this, right, cool, the Digimon's still in the field.
Attack's still happening.
Attack's still happening. It's still going.
He was trying to be like, well, it died, so the attack's not there anymore. And I'm like, I still see it on the board.
Yeah, but no.
It's still there.
So that was a ruling for today. I think the other thing to bring up announcement wise, well, it's less of an announcement, more of a show off, because I know you'll probably want to show it off. Do you want to show off your Belfer?
Yes, I will. Okay. So I got this. I got a little Belfamon. I'm gonna hold it up right there because I see on the camera. Yeah, it's a little guy. So I don't bring up Belfamon a lot. Belfamon's my main deck, so like this is. That's something I want to show.
It's her birthday present.
It's my birthday present.
It's about to print, but also it was not something you've on online. It's something that one of the community of like the Digimon players in Northern Ireland you got requested to make. You requested them to make this, so it's not even like you say, it's not an order online or something. It's one of the people that we're friends with locally.
If anyone wants one, we can like give you we can get you guys in contact. We can get hit like 20 quid, probably more. I told him to put his rates up.
So it's higher. Blame Adam.
Yeah, there you go.
Indeed. I believe that's all of the news and announcement things to really say. We've been doing locals, judges, Ultimate Cup. I believe that's everything. The only other things to mention real quick, coming to the channel soonish, I want to get into this before we get into the main subject. We did do a variant of recording today, which I'm hoping to edit, which will be coming to the channel soon. Some matches out of our locals.
Yeah. And
it's not going to be match videos as you've seen in the past of like play-by-play. It's going to be a kind of a different style of video inspired from another YouTuber I've watched. But you kind of get the gist. It's maybe a way of showing off the locals and stuff like that without
recapping it all.
Yeah, without having to actually do a match video. Because to do an actual match video, the angles needed to like do a decent like match video of seeing the cards and having overlays and stuff. There's just too much glare at certain places because of the lighting in the shop. Now it's nothing against them. It's obviously nothing they can do about it. They can't turn off certain lights, and they're all on or they're all off. And we're not going to exactly ask a shop, hey, can you
have everyone in darkness, please?
Well, it's not even just have everyone in darkness. It's like, hey, can you do something for a customer, like, bend to my will type? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want... You can't ask them, like...
You don't want to be entitled.
Tailor, that's the word. Tailor is what I'm looking for. It's like, hey, can you tailor this towards me when you got to think of the shop as a whole?
Yeah.
You don't want to be entitled.
But that should be coming. It came out very well, judging from like the raw footage.
On the raw footage, it looked really well, because that was recorded today. So that's something to look forward to, is a video we're going to try now. And I'll be looking for your guys' feedback on it and stuff. And the last thing I want to get into, one of the things I am looking into, is to get this out of just YouTube as a podcast. I've been looking in ways to get it to Spotify and things like that. So there'll be ways to actually listen to this on the go. So hence why there'll be I've just there's going to be like pretty much no video editing going on, so the video is just strictly a podcast. If we talk about something, just make sure to mention it verbally. I just showed the Belpham on, but for the video viewers.
Yeah.
But like,
that's just for you guys.
But in terms of listening and stuff, it's a matter of like, hey, if you want to see anything that's talked about, there's the video podcast on YouTube. But we are going to be trying to get it in other places. So, main subject, Glasgow coming up.
Again, you haven't travelled back in time. There's a new one.
Yeah, there's a new one.
Weekend of March 22nd?
22nd.
Day event.
Yeah, two-day event.
Day event.
22nd, 23rd, week after Worlds.
Definitely probably boundless between them.
Yeah.
And
Thinking about it.
Either definitely, probably, or definitely not.
We both reacted to that.
Either definitely, probably, or definitely not.
His hands are freezing.
Yeah, but like, so it's what, 4 weeks now?
Less than that, I think.
We're 3.5.
I think we're coming up to 3 weeks.
I think I have a week of work, then it's my weekend in,
because
and then it's like
as of day of recording, it's the 23rd of February. We'll be clear. So we've got as the 2nd, the 9th. No, it is 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
So
4 weeks yesterday, essentially, for this day one.
yeah,
about a month.
Saturday.
so by
Isn't that Friday?
Saturday is day one.
Saturday's
That's
I'm
the
flying
event.
out though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're flying out on the Friday, and for anyone judging the event, their shift starts on Friday. They've got to be there Friday.
So what were you saying?
looked into
Says
it.
we're gonna get in well with the judges so that they were in our favour. I'm sorry, what?
But
I was
no,
that day going to Taco Bell for sure.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. We had to do that. We also need to get
I'm at the
Venom
Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
I'm at the Taco Bell.
because you never got to try Venom because you played the locals last time.
And got wrecked.
We still could do
It
the
was
locals
so
this time
bad.
and do, like, going out on a different night.
To be fair, like yeah, I suppose we have the extra days. That's not the point.
Yeah.
but yeah. So obviously the main thing to say is
Celebrate my top. I mean, what?
yeah, so all 5 of us are going to Glasgow and stuff.
Plus there's 11 players from here going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big
there's,
cried.
Yeah.
there's a lot of us.
A few
Two
from
vlogs
both of our
going?
locals. Yeah.
2 vlogs going.
Potentially 2 vlogs. So I know
You're wanting to vlog.
I'm wanting to vlog. I know Connor was saying about he was thinking about it. I don't know if he's fully decided.
I think
I'm gonna really just try and just force myself because I was meant to vlog last time, and I'm really just gonna try and just force myself
To
this
be
time.
fair,
Like,
that's a good point. That's
here's-
what you're about to say, and I think it is the same thing. It's talk with Connor and get them to both like share everything they vlog together.
no, we-
No, I was gonna say, here's my thinking, right? If you're both vlogging, it'll give you guys the motivation to both vlog.
It'll just
Yeah.
be competitive, and it's just like, okay, you know what,
Just
he's saying this, I'm recording this.
just
I'm
sitting
getting
there-
the details.
just next thing you know, was going to each other with cameras and faces. How was your match? No, how was your match? No, you say first. But no, one of the ideas that Adam brought up as a potential thing that we will be bringing up because there's like 9 of us sharing a house together.
Yeah.
8 of us being players. So an idea that Adam had, and I'm fully on board for it as long as the rest of the house wants to, of finding a way with the equipment and stuff available to, on the Sunday night after Glasgow, of doing a
Recap podcast.
recap podcast where it's fresh in everyone's head inside the venue.
You know,
Like, not in the venue of Glasgow, like in the house.
In the Airbnb.
Because it's
yeah.
going to be the living area, there's going to be plenty of seats.
yeah, I was about to say, like, there's the whole thing here. It's a big, like, square space, so it is. Like,
Yeah.
so
We
it's
need
gonna be
to clear
upstairs.
that
Ah,
with people. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm going to clear it. I brought it up with Neil, and he was like, "Oh God."
Neil is not the person that would like to do
But
it.
and that being said, we've already we have obviously the WhatsApp for the people going. I've already been asking them like, "Hey, if we do vlog, are people okay with being on film since you're getting permission ahead of time and stuff like that, just in case or anything stuff."
how do you feel about that, Shira? About doing a podcast there in the Airbnb?
I am the talent, so I think I should be paid for my work.
You can get a playmat.
This is getting
I
a bit
disagree.
sketchy now. We're
I am clearly the one that needs that for my work.
He's wanting paid. I feel like we pull out now.
But overall,
The Airbnb is mine technically.
but yeah, so it's an idea to have about like say filming on the Sunday, especially when it's gonna be fresh in everyone's heads instead of like waiting a week.
Means we don't have to try and film it like getting home on the Monday evening or something, and like we're tired from travel and the weekend.
So also the footage I mentioned about earlier that we filmed today, that video, hopefully if I get it edited in time, will actually go out while we're at Glasgow,
which will be really nice.
Which I won't be in because I was not locals.
No, you were at a family's birthday party.
Yep.
You chose your family over us. Be ashamed of yourself. No talking. Anyway, moving on.
No
So,
comment.
what decks are we thinking for Glasgow?
This is just private
Don't worry.
information.
I heard. Don't worry. You should not be ashamed.
Well, you don't
of
know what
yourself.
you're
You
playing
always
either.
choose family because you choose me.
I'm
Then.
gonna play me. I'm gonna play Shangri-La.
Best deck I heard of the format.
That's
After
what
this
I'm
ban
running
list,
chicken is
good deck.
it's up there.
That was the most blatantest lie I've ever heard. Come on,
That's
your
I can
mouth.
just
actually
use
the most
yours.
running joke in like these.
I wouldn't use mine. Use Lara's if you're going to use a good shine deck.
I might be built better. Yeah.
How would yours be built better?
No, I mean Lars will be built better than Adams.
Oh, Laura's will be built better than Adam?
Yeah, because she plays Turbo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turbo's
Well-
the best version of it, you know.
Well, I mean, Laura's thinking about doing a towel loop.
Yeah. So yeah, you
She,
could
in other words, she is praying there's no ban list, while the rest of us are praying for a ban list.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not praying for a ban list. I'm just hoping it gets here in a reasonable time and it's not
like a week ahead.
I hope it's not in effect last minute before Glasgow.
To throw
That's
it
all
out,
I'm
to
saying.
throw it out,
I think it will be.
Yeah.
to throw it out there, I honestly, I believe we're going to get a ban list in March, and I believe they would be right of them to announce it at Worlds. But how would you feel if they decided to announce it live at Glasgow?
Ooh.
I don't think it's big enough to do that.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm asking
Although
for the
there's going to be a lot of
hypothetical.
players compared to like most
On top of
Digimon events at
Even-
that level.
even if they announced it and they just go like say they were like, oh, this is the ban list just before Glasgow, the Glasgow is never going to flip and go by the ban list because there's too many
yeah.
I'm
players
going to
there.
be honest.
Didn't they say we were
With-
live streaming it this year?
They're
Potentially.
recording. Did they say live stream?
Well, no, and they've not said anything about live streaming or recording. Nothing's been said about it. Nothing was said last time either. It's just a potential because it is organized play events, and I have seen them stream a lot in the past.
Yeah.
And looking at, so obviously Digimon this time, they've said it's going to be maximum of 9 rounds, which means to hit 9 rounds we need to hit 512, and it means the maximum of 1023, because 1024 will trigger 10 rounds.
And I'm pretty sure this is the biggest regional Europe's had for Digimon.
I honestly couldn't say about that.
Which is
Any other
crazy.
regional I've seen has been like sub 300 people. Has been like 320 most.
But,
Here, we had someone from America last time.
but obviously that means
We have someone from America at our locals at 7.
obviously having 512 for 9 rounds, that's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a few other things. So there's Dragon Ball events going on and stuff at the
One Piece.
same day. And the Dragon Balls aren't going to be that big. They're like one day. One of them's maybe like a 2-day event. But even then, like, a lot of people in the community understand like they're not that big of a card game compared to the rest of everything Bandai does. At a later date, Bandai suddenly announced, "Hey, we're suddenly doing One Piece that weekend." And then a lot of people got worried about, oh, One Piece is now going to become the main thing.
Yeah.
Because One Piece is kind of loved by Bandai in their eyes a lot more than Digimon. However, since then they've announced there is a cap of 256 tickets for the One Piece, which means Digimon is still the bigger event. So
Nice.
I can imagine there is a chance that this could be live streamed, or even as well recorded or something. Because it is organised play events, and it's something that they have gone out of their way in the past.
See, we reached our cap like really quickly last time for the tickets. I think they're just trying to get it bigger
I think
since
they're
they expected so
yeah.
much.
I think they realize that the UK has a really big market of Digimon players compared.
And
Like
now that's a 2-day event as well.
The
Yeah.
first regional of this new season is at the exact same time as Worlds, correct?
The
It's
very
just
first one of
after.
this season, yes. So it's in the Netherlands.
What I think that they could potentially do is release a ban list after 2.5, but make it so it's only active
After the
on the new seasonal regionals.
So it doesn't affect
So
Worlds.
it doesn't affect
it wouldn't
Worlds,
affect Worlds,
but
no.
it affects this regional that's happening in the same weekend.
Yeah.
That could
Yeah.
make sense.
It would be fun not to have to swim through Gallant players.
It would be. Well, they might
know.
not get hit.
I have to live in hope.
I hope.
Because
I
every
don't
play
think-
test against it with
I'm
every
gonna be
deck
honest,
has just
I-
not done anything against it.
I don't think anything before. I don't think anything EX8 or beyond is getting hit. As much as Medieval Gallant is a problem, I don't think it's being touched on the next ban
Oh, it
list.
should be banned.
I think it's going to be the one.
Or the
after.
0.
I think it's going to be like whatever later this year,
Put
like
it the one
October
X
time,
antibody,
whenever
the
that
one.
ban list is.
Actually,
That's when Medieval gets
Gallant
it.
X antibody. The one.
No.
I
No.
Magna X the one.
Yes.
That's a whole separate podcast that we've had ban list talk. But no, honestly, I do believe Medieval probably deserves hit right now, but I honestly don't.
I don't see it happening. I think it does.
I don't see it happening at all. Weirdly,
It needs to put the 0 where I rotted.
Yeah.
But then again, you could say that about so many things. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
we will not get into that, because there is so many
Yeah.
cards that are on that list that should be eroded and they're sitting on one.
There is a card that's in every deck though at the moment, and it's Medieval Gallant.
Yeah, that is true.
But again, the Defex was at its time.
And everyone
I
said
think
that
Medieval's
thing
way
needed
worse
one
than
as
Death
well.
Earth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, like Defex at launch was in everyone's deck because it was a busted card,
It wasn't in mine.
and
You
because
wouldn't give me yours.
because I only got one. And again, everyone was like,
Wonder what
Defex needs hit to 1. It is too busted. It is too broken. And it never got touched. And now look at Defex. It's not in every deck. It's only in specific decks that can use it a bit better or can search it. And I feel like that they may look at that because let's be honest,
Precedent.
out of any. So when you've used the term of Defex, like you've used it in terms of the rank, like the strength of the card, not
the strength of the card, not the mechanics.
Yeah, because it's like in terms of the strength of the card. So anything Defex like in terms of strength wise, obviously
Ruin,
we could,
Quartz, Medieval.
also out of all them, Medieval is the only Defex like card in terms of mechanics.
Yeah.
In terms of mechanics, it's the.
I
It's the
can't
only,
think of any others, but there probably is. Like, you could kind of. Yeah, no. It's probably it.
And I can imagine Bandai may look at that in that light and go, well, yes, it is a Defex that it can go in every deck. It is Defex-like in the sense it can reduce its play cost. It can delete things when they're played. It just doesn't do the whole thing. It can do it every turn, but that's only if you play into it, where Defex kind of goes, no, we are deleting at the end regardless. And I feel like Bandai may go, Defex died out eventually, so will Medieval. And it probably will due to power creep. Decks will eventually have ways around it to the point where not every deck will be playing it because every deck will have the built-in answer that's just so strong that Medieval does nothing.
This is the other issue, though. So they're like turboing power creep to deal with cards like that.
I don't think they're doing it intentionally.
No, not intentionally. They just don't want to ban cards.
I'm gonna be honest as well. The issue I see with Medieval beyond everything, like forget what it's doing now. The way the card is structured and worded mechanically is very, very, very poorly for. I'm not even hitting the table. I'm like literally gently. Anyway,
If you can feel the table vibrate, that's when it's bad.
it's the way it's worded mechanically. It's very, very hard to have it be stopped in future by the way things are worded. Like, it's not an on-play effect that it's triggering. It's an all turns whenever it's played to reactivate the Wind Digivolving effect. So, apart from Venusmon that gives the global effect of activate Wind Digivolving effects, there's no effect currently that just stops that happening, apart from just having a minus 15k on the board.
So, to kind of cycle this back around to the main subject. How present do you think Medieval is going to be at Glasgow?
In every deck.
Yeah, pretty much every deck. Yeah, there's going to be very few decks I feel don't have it.
Nearly everyone at Seven's running it, and Seven's a more competitive store, so it is.
It's going to depend because, for example, after Lucas and Lara's Ultimate Cup, I was talking with Lucas, and basically every purple hybrid list that you see has Medieval in it, for example. but every single purple hybrid player, and Lucas was also playing purple hybrid with medieval in it.
Borrowing my Duskmon shit.
He's borrowing the whole deck from me.
Sorry, you have my
every
Duskmon.
single purple hybrid player, basically, he asked, "How do you feel about medieval in the deck?" And they went, "Never used it once." I think people are going to. What was that?
Sorry.
I think people are going to steadily realise that as much as medieval, like Death X, as much as it can be ran in every deck, maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe this space is better utilised for a memory boost, or a level 7 that I can actually digivolve into, or 6, or an ace, or this, that, and so forth. I think potentially it could, especially with 2.5. Like, we don't know how tight certain decks are going to become on space, especially with there's new things added to the meta that people need to try and find a way to counter that maybe medieval doesn't
I
cover.
feel until Scramble drops sort of below the 2-1 mark in every deck is when medieval Gallant starts to creep down. It's because there's the chance of them just going and getting a whole stack at the start of their turn from nothing.
The thing is, though, Scramble won't stop, because the thing is, you're on about the secondary effect of Scramble.
Yeah.
And most people, if they're playing as a 2-of, they are thinking a bit more about that effect. But a lot of decks are now playing Scramble as a 1-of, and the thing they're playing the Scramble as a 1-of for is not even for the on-play effect. They're playing it for this key piece that's going to win me the game, that's been hitting security, it's on this line that's died, or anything. Something, this key piece that I don't have right now, and it's going to get this line finished, and it's going to win me. I'm putting that to top of deck and I'm drawing.
I was going to say, I don't know on that because of one reason and one reason only, because at 7th, if they had a medieval Gallant on the board against me, I wouldn't have had 2 level 6s in one turn. From a rookie and raising.
The counter argument I wanted to make about the purple hybrid players saying that. So it's, I don't know what you would call it. There is a word for the thing though. Because everyone's running medieval Gallant, no one is playing decks that lose to medieval Gallant. So medieval Gallant doesn't come up.
Yeah, it's
No.
why
But you're not
Mastermon.
gonna
Oh,
stop
like
running
the
it.
catch-22. So
Yeah.
It's why I've fell back so hard at Mastermon, because realistically Mastermon plays Galamons, and if you don't, you lose.
I'm gonna be honest, people made the same. I watched a video about a month back for Yu-Gi-Oh! That made the same argument about Dimension Shifter. Of the decks are right now in the top of Yu-Gi-Oh's meta are really good into Dimension Shifter, so no one's running Dimension Shifter, but those decks are running Dimension Shifter. So
Because
it's this
most
whole
of them are,
different, parallel thing of Dimension Shifter's really good, but the top decks play really well into it, so it's really bad, but it's always good, so it's really good.
Dimension Shifter has always been good at dealing with a lot of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's kind of what Medieval Gallant is now. That's that's
Yeah,
a really good analogy. Medieval Gallant
Yeah.
is kind of D-shifter.
Because, if people stop playing Medieval Gallant. But
You can't afford to not expect
feel-
your opponent to have it.
yeah, I was going to say I feel like there is a big difference in the thought process, but it's not.
It's not
It's
too
not
different.
too different.
No, it's
yeah,
not. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm just more saying, in Yu-Gi-Oh terms, from not
Medieval-
playing D-shifter because the best decks are good with D-shifter is very different to Gallant in that regard. But I get it's the same type of analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only difference as well, I would say, between it and Death Axe. Death Axe at the start of the game costs how much to play?
20. And
Whereas
it gets reduced
medieval
by 3 for every Digimon and Tamer your opponent.
That is also
medieval
true.
can cost 7 maybe on your second turn, or
Or if you're
sometimes-
playing green
gonna
red,
be honest
3
as well.
for Digivolve.
That's also a point. Like, back in the day, if you were worried about Death X, you just ran, you can't reduce play cost. You just ran that floodgate, whatever, even if you weren't that colour, you would try to find a way to put it in. If you were, you would run it. With Medieval being an 11 cost, from one memory, you can always play it. The only way you can't just hard drop that is if you're on 0.
However, on top of that, you can't really run them types of rookies anymore. Only certain decks if they have the space. 'Cause
That's
so rare.
you
that
have
is
to
the
be
thing.
so.
just hybrid decks, right?
I'm also going to be honest though, a lot of decks, so taking as Medieval's all turns effect in, unless you use its effect to suspend 2 things down to lower its play cost, if you are choosing to hard play it down, the only decks that thing's now deleting is most of the time going to be green. Because a lot of other colours, their DP on their big mega level, specifically I'm on about here, when if they've got their big line and you're like having to play because you've got no choice, most of like other colours megas are like 12,000 or higher, and when you only suspend that down, you hit 11.
Yeah.
You can't delete the 12.
Yeah, but you're forgetting that it has two forms of removal, because if you don't do the suspend effect, yes, you can only pop lower, but as long as you have another body on board, you can just go, cool, suspend that down when I'm playing, delete that, Vortex Alliance, swing over it, and then that gets
But
rid
if
of the
you've got
problem.
another body, you're suspending both down anyway.
Not always. You might, for example, if that's immune to deletion effects, you can, like, Medieval can still go, I'm going to pop the other thing, and then just Alliance over it.
Imagine being a leopard player that doesn't have to pay anything for it.
Have you seen the new level 5
won't
Lily?
have. No.
Now, I have seen the list you sent me finally.
Have you seen
You know the
new
Avenger
level
stuff that's
5
been getting
star?
revealed?
Yeah.
They've finally revealed Lilymon.
Ah!
Inheritable Alliance.
They're giving just it all to the level
Yeah,
5,
all the
so
Avenger level 5s are getting Alliance.
They're giving...
So basically every colour's getting a lance.
Exactly. Zudomon is going to be the
That's
first
not the
blue
best
card
card ever.
printed with
Read the one
Alliance.
that you roll.
Well, I'm going to. You guys continue. I'm just going to read the Lilymon here
So,
while we...
That's actually something I want to bring up later. The danger of giving every single colour generic Alliance.
Yeah.
Don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
Yeah.
What were they thinking on that there when
Return
Digimon?
one Digimon, one suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. and
For
it does
every
not-
two colours of
It
your
doesn't
team.
even indicate a level. You can just bottom deck anything.
You can bottom deck a level 7 with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have two colours in your tamers, but I mean, like, as long as you're running a two-colour tamer, you're always going to have two colours in your tamers.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what you'd run Leopardmon. Let's two colours though.
You probably run Mimi and Joe.
You'd run Dinomon, or you mean Tamer-wise?
Yeah, Tamer.
Mimi and Joe. That's
I mean,
generic
the
now.
new
Guys, the new ones are all dual coloured in
Oh
the
yeah,
starter
there might be a
decks.
good Mimi in the start deck. I'm reading the second
It
book.
is a Mimi and Joe, I believe, as well.
I think so.
I think so.
But, yeah, so once again, because we keep getting distracted from the main subject, Glasgow.
Let's go.
It's so broken there.
So I'm going
Well,
to use leopards.
It's
effect.
more
We're
like
gonna play
lots of
this
little
for just
branches
cost
off of
of
Glasgow,
units.
because these are important things to
Sharpen,
talk
sorry.
about for
Sorry, it has
Glasgow.
an
Yeah,
Why
it
do
has
we
an on
nervous
play.
with seeing?
It sees itself being played, so you
Yeah.
play. Oh, well,
Give them a
if you've
second.
Digimon
I will say, I would
into this and you
happily
play one,
answer that
you get-
answer.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
Right.
stupid.
So your other line would just be the adventure level 6.
Oh
so
my
it's like the
god, that
Rosemon
is
or
so
something.
stupid because you can literally digivolve into it and then you can go the whole way
I'm
up
sorry to the
level
podcast
one
people
drop.
that are listening to this
Ah.
muttering and have no clue what the fuck they're on about.
I'm
It's just
getting it, but
spiraling.
like,
So, when we were talking about Lilymon and Leopard.
Yeah, cool.
So,
the,
if
the-
you
the
did
subject's Glasgow.
Yeah, I know, but I just want to point this out because it's actually really hilarious and
Okay.
it needs to be said. So it's an on play and when digivolving effect.
Yes,
On top of that,
because that's what everything's becoming.
if you
now.
have
Yep.
one already down
both trigger.
from the leopard, when you
Oh
play the
my
other one, they
God.
both trigger, which then lets you get the
Oh.
two effects on the bottom bit because you've played an adventure. Because
For those that are listening to this, in
also
case
broken.
I was saying, for those that are listening to this, in case I do somehow get this onto like Spotify and stuff, after Adam's brain was just going clonk, 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 and eventually realised and broke.
Okay, so as Amy asked, what are we worried about seeing for Glasgow?
Medieval Gallant.
Okay.
just
More-
gallant.
More decks, but okay.
Gallant. It's just a big
Honestly,
issue.
off the play testing I've been doing with both my decks, Gallant is my biggest worry. Gallant X right now.
I just can't deal with Gallant.
I
It's the only deck I've played that I
honestly-
can't deal with.
in my head, conceptually, it's hard to say because I've not had a play test against it. I think I'm okay against Royal Knights because we know they're going to get a buff by the time we have Glasgow.
Again, though, we can just do what Adam said and all run the rookies that say you can't reduce play cost. Haha, you have to pay full cost for that Royal Knight.
If Royal
But
Knights
that-
has become really prominent,
It's
you will have
finding
to run
space for those rookies now.
Oh, I know.
It does all find space, but yeah. So that I think I'm going to be okay with that on one, especially on one of my decks that I'm leaning more towards than the other. Then the other deck that I honestly don't know is going to be the Virus and Pildra.
You do have that still, right?
He has it, but
that's fair. We're going to be playtesting lots against that.
Slave over here.
Yeah,
I'm
so
just a guinea pig, aren't I?
Yeah, you're the guinea pig.
yeah, you're the good.
You shouldn't build meta.
The one thing, like, so I'm going to say, yeah, I'm just going to say this bluntly. So the two decks I'm thinking about is obviously I'm thinking about Magna and I'm thinking about Vortex, and I've done a lot of playtesting on a Magna, and in reality, when 2.5 gets here.
Not much changes. It's
I'm going to add an Omni-X to the build, and that does not change how Magna plays at all. It just gives it a new piece that I can find because it's part blue, so our boosts and trainings can already grab it. On top, it gives us a way to kind of like Omni Blitz for game essentially.
And wipes the board.
Yeah, wipes the board.
That's
Like
very
so,
good.
like it doesn't ultimately change a whole lot. And the thing I'm taking out for it that's in the build right now is a Ruin mode. So I'm taking a Ruin mode out, putting an Omni-X in. They both essentially were meant to do the kind of same jobs because Ruin mode minus 5k to the board. It's kind of meant to board wipe. Or just kind of guarantee game by making sure you've got so much minus DP. I've got something in the back. You can't stop me. I'm going to raise and swing for game. Omni-X is going to kind of do the same thing, but it's going to do it that turn instead of the next turn. So the other deck being Vortex, I'm not going to lie, up until this weekend, I was very iffy on a lot of things about the deck, and I was seeing a lot of weaknesses and a lot of holes in it, and I was like, I honestly don't know if 2.5 fixes this enough.
A few tech pieces that
But
got
after
recently.
a few tech pieces have been added recently, I've been re-looking at people's builds, I've been in forum rooms and stuff discussing it, and took all the advice on board that I can to try, and there's still a few bits I want to try, but I haven't got those cards right now.
Or space.
I've got the space because honestly the last thing to try is the eggs. That's the last thing to try, as well as taking 2 cards out the main deck and trying the eggs without those 2 cards to see if it circumvents or feel any different and stuff like that. And
Fair.
And those tech pieces have made all the difference. And honestly, it's made me feel 10 times more confident with the deck. To the point where it's like I feel like with these tech pieces in, as well as 2.5. I'm honestly leaning more towards Vortex for Glasgow.
Yeah,
So-
I'm pretty happy to hear that.
I feel like the only thing I can possibly struggle against is flipping Gallant, but that is it. Like
Is the wall
I've been
here.
changing about flipping tech pieces and tech pieces and tech pieces, and nothing helps against Gallant, but the deck works okay against everything else that I'm thinking of mostly.
I know I keep saying it to you guys, but I'm going to say it for the sake of the podcast. At the end of the day, I still think it comes down to you pick your boogeyman. you pick what you're going to be worried about, you play the deck for that, and then you hope it's good against every. Like, if you're worried, like, the thing is.
I don't need to worry, I'm playing bees.
The thing is. decks that are good into the Gallant matchup, right, are kind of, like I say, bad into the other matchups, like Red, Purple Imperial, Omni, Purple Hybrids. They're not the greatest into those. Yeah. They're not the greatest into those matchups, but the ones that are good into each and more often than not, multiple of those matchups tend to be really bad against Gallant decks. So you've got to just pick. Are you so worried about Gallant decks that you're going to play a deck that's going to do badly against a bunch of other decks that you're more likely to see one of 5 decks rather than Gallant decks 5 times in a row?
Okay, but what do you say is the deck against Gallant? Saying.
Takamikazuchi and even the BT14 variant that we
I'm
tried.
That's what he's on
They're
about.
hard.
That's on about. Okay.
There are hard counters to it because they just play on your
I've
opponent's
told
memory
people
gauge.
how
That's
to
not going to
counter it.
lose against every other deck, though. That's still a good deck.
Can't
It
tell
loses
me.
to Red, Purple Imperial.
You want me to figure it out for myself,
Yeah,
didn't you,
but-
sure?
And
I don't know if
lose,
there's much Rob
but
can
that's
do.
what I'm saying. Like
I don't know.
it wins against one, it loses to the other. So you've got to pick.
I'm about to say Digimon,
okay.
especially
I've
ever
got one more
since BT16,
Nasty.
Digimon has became less and less of a one deck controlling the top of the meta. Therefore, you can just build to counter it,
Yeah.
and then generally you can kind of have an answer to everything else in general. It's now kind of spun into this. There are lots of decks up, and it is now turned to like a rock paper scissors scenario where it's like, cool, your deck beats this deck but loses to this deck, but that deck loses to this, and like
it's more like rock paper scissors lizard Spock, with how many different decks are out there right now that are doing very well, which is nice to see for the health of the game.
But one of the problems that it makes me worried about, and we'll get back into people's worries, and just to kind of add on to this real quick, the biggest worry it makes me have is if Bandai moving forward keeps doing ban lists how they have been, because the game's no longer how it used to be, like I say, with that whole one deck at the top.
Yeah.
And like they could release a ban list, hit 1-2 cards in that deck, and bring its power level down to meet everyone else again, and everyone could play whatever the hell you want, and you all had a nice fair game, you all had a fair chance.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that because the last 2 ban lists in a row, and I think even 3 ban lists in a row, ever since, so I think 3 ban lists ago was when the Geogrey was hit. The BT13 one, or the BT13 Geogrey was hit.
It feels longer than that, but
it was 3 ban lists ago, because the one after that was Anubis list, and the one after that was Numa X list. The past 3 ban lists have had at least 5 or 6 cards on them. They're getting bigger and bigger.
They've had a few choice restrictions, which has been quite an interesting way to fix things.
Choice restrictions is nice. I do like seeing that, especially from the Card Fight Vanguard perspective. Like, that's where me and Trevor have seen it before. They do stuff like that, where it's like, right, this is a busted combo together.
Instead of banning the cards and breaking the 2 decks that use them separately, we're gonna
so you can't put this combo together. It's too busted. Stop it.
I'm pretty confident in Bandai's ban list so far. Every time they put out a ban list, as much as sometimes right when it comes out I have gripes or I don't think it's enough, it always actually, like, a few weeks in, it's kind of proven right. Like, it kind of is like, actually, yeah, that's worked. And I haven't believed it at first.
I kind of can agree with you on 2 parts of that, but not the third. Like, the problem is we see it being okay because we're not playing at a higher level. Seeing our locals doesn't really show that ban list at its maximum, I don't think.
Yeah, but for the likes of myself and
well, no, I'm
and
talking about
Cheryl,
sevens as well.
We watch the meta pretty closely compared to you guys, and it's nice to see from that sort of perspective.
Yeah, I suppose.
But also, like, myself and Lumi, I try to play as many online Ultimate Cups and, like, regionals as I can, really, as I can afford. I know
my computer can't handle it.
Those last 2 words you said there is what stops me.
Like, as I can afford, I try to do it. Especially, like, with the last round of Ultimate Cups being Shine Sport, I was like, yes, all in, let me get at least.
The moment I see you trying, I was like messaging you every time there was a new one, like, hey, there's an online one these days. Hey, there's an online one these days. So you knew because it was Shine. I know how much I like Shine. It's like, I didn't want you to be like missed out because you didn't know.
Yeah, and like, we still try to keep, meta relevant with each other. We try to keep meta relevant for because our locals isn't, like, it's not low tier. Like, it's not like everyone's playing really, really bad decks. A lot of the players are playing pretty high competitive decks. They're just not in a high competitive mindset a lot about it, which is valid. It's fine, each their own. But, like,
I suppose it depends on comfort for yourself when you're playing a deck.
As well. Like, you play a deck how you want to play it, and if it's not exactly how a meta sort of list of it would be, if it's still running some of the older stuff. I mean, a lot of the cards that come out recently, they're not the easiest to get here with in terms of delays and stuff, and, like, not everyone can.
That's gone better though.
That's gone better.
I love how America's experiencing that now.
But, like, not everyone's can afford.
So if there's any American watchers,
let's really get into let's quickly, because that's like literally that's a 1 minute thing. So at time of recording, this weekend was meant to be 2.5 pre-release. The 2 locals that were doing a pre-release, to our knowledge, one the supplier is holding the stock at essentially ransom, saying you haven't paid for it when they have. It's waiting to be shipped out to them, and they found out this on Thursday.
It's currently Sunday, and the pre-release was meant to be tonight.
It was meant to be tonight, which means they didn't have the stock. So that pre-release has been moved to next week. So no 2.5 in that one. The other shop that was doing pre-release, they we've ordered it, far as we can tell, we've got a shipment coming in, and then they posted on Discord a picture of like, look, here's envelopes with 2.5 release event packs. Here's envelopes with 2.0 release event packs. Here's current tournament packs, last tournament packs, and here's like 12 boxes, and it's like, cool, yeah. And the Discord blew up. Everyone was super excited.
And
then someone re-examined the picture and zoomed in and took a zoomed-in picture screenshot and reposted that. And the boxes read 2.0, not 2.5.
And everyone went 2.0.
So there was no pre-release there either.
Which realistically wasn't bad because Glasgow practice.
Yeah, we got more Glasgow practice.
Well,
but I mean,
you say that now our actual practice is kind of delayed because we're not being able to practice against 2.5 sort of decks.
Yeah,
we don't
that much longer.
I don't have my 2.5 cards to practice with. We don't have 2.5. Like we don't have the 2.5 cards for like say. Virus and Pildress to practice against.
I'm going to be honest, quite a few of my deck choices are locked behind 2.5.
Hi, so's mine.
Yeah, so
that really sucks for you guys, honestly.
So I just wanted to quickly throw that in there. So we were meant to have 2.5 by now at point recording. By the time you're seeing this, we will have 2.5. Fingers crossed, touch wood.
I'm going to be honest, we might be going to Glasgow without 2.5.
We might be building our 2.5 decks at Glasgow, turning up very, very early on the Saturday and being like, how many boxes can you sell?
No, we're arriving early on the Friday. We'll just go to Geek Trade.
And this is where they're going to do what they did last time. What was the set back? What was the set that was it EX7? When we
EX7, yeah.
And they were like, we're not selling by the box. We need to make sure there's enough for everyone.
It's okay though this time. It's okay. We'll be there the day before the region.
No, that's what happened last time. So that's what you're saying. So like, because they did the locals last time.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
And we went because you wanted to buy a box, and there was like, no, 6 packs per person.
Before the locals go, we go in before. Like when we land, we get into the place, we just go straight there, we just buy it.
There will be people there already practicing, you know.
Probably would be.
It'd be like 2 days before. They've been there all night.
That's 24. So back to the thing. So
pre-order.
Look, my brother lives there. I'll just send him all the money, get him to buy it before we get there.
Even better.
Problem solved.
But fingers crossed, hopefully, because you've got 2 boxes ordered and you've got 4 boxes ordered. So hopefully, and then I know Connor has a few boxes ordered, and he's also said that if anyone...
I think Connor has 5 ordered.
But he's also said if anyone needs certain cards, as long as it's not for the deck he's playing, he's happy to lend cards out.
Yeah.
Because he said that during round 1 of the locals yesterday and stuff. So he's also going to be helping us out if need be and stuff. So hopefully those arrive as well. So we're going to have access to those. But back, you've answered what deck you're worried about, correct?
Oh yeah, Gallant.
You answered what deck you're worried about?
I'm honestly worried about both Gallant and Red Purple Imperial. Those are the two. Like, I'm slightly worried about Royal Knights as well, but I feel like I know Royal Knights well enough in terms of how it currently is. Like, in terms of the play style, it doesn't really change. It just gets
you feel
better
confident
cards.
On paper. You feel confident. You just want to practice against it a little bit for
yeah. In terms of play style, I think Red Purple Imperial and Gallant X have the more problematic effects to worry about. Like I keep saying, the decks you need to pick which one you're more concerned about, because one that's good against one, bad against the other, vice versa.
Vibration absorption.
It's so, and a lot of my deck choices, as I've already said, are locked behind 2.5, so I can't really hard test against those decks yet, and it's annoying me slightly.
You know that Vanguard thing that I had left with Christian Killing, because we were always playing there, you need to get that for this, and then when he bangs on it, at least it'll absorb some of it.
Yeah.
Just put our playmats
down. That or just another stand for it.
Yeah, stand for a stand.
Well, they can scrum off.
Yeah.
What are you worried about?
So what decks are you worried about?
Okay, well, it depends what I'm playing. If I'm just gonna say it, like, if I'm playing Ice Snow hybrids, because I can't really do much against hybrids unless I have Hexblade out. But Hexblade isn't gonna do too much in my head because they just have good windage flowing and good deletions for purple.
To counter that real quick, to maybe help your mind here, their deletions happen at end of attack. So they can't attack you if you've got Hexablow.
I mean, but like just for option cards because it is purple.
I was going to say as well, it's a DNA deck.
But even then with Death Things, that means they're going to give you a lot of memory.
Which is fine, really, but I can't handle the speed of it more than anything. And
Hexables
then
can be problems.
I can manage Gallant if it's an okay player. If they're just an okay player, I can do it.
After this man, it's a bit more of a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
He's a beast.
It does brick sometimes.
I mean,
It does
Not
work
with you. Never against me. Always lucky, never
It
punished.
bricked against me. Which was like the very first time it ever bricked.
Yeah, always lucky, never punished. That's it against me.
I was going to bring up what you say about the Gallant. To be fair, like, you practiced, like, I don't even want to count how many matches against
It was
you.
like 4 or 5 matches in a row.
And then going to 7th, first round you went against Gallant, and you were like, all that practice paid off.
Yeah.
And then second round, she was against Shiro again.
Yeah, and then Purple Hybrids. And it wasn't even a good Purple Hybrids player. That was beautiful.
I'm not even gonna lie. I honestly thought, with the way your day had started there, it was Gallant. Then you got matched against
Purple
Shiro.
Hybrids not round 4. We had 4 rounds at
Do we
7th.
have- Oh, who was I again?
I have
Were you
played.
against the other Gallant? Because I could have sworn
Oh,
there was
no,
It was Gallant,
King.
King,
Oh,
Imperial
okay.
Draft.
Imperial.
Imperial
That was
Draft.
a draw.
But yes, so I honestly, at the start of your day, when you went against Hexblood and then you got matched against Shiro, I was like, Amy's going to run the entire gauntlet here, isn't she? It's going to be another Gallimon, another Gallimon.
No,
So bad.
the thing is, you said that, and she did go against, like, there was only 2 Gallant players, and she went burning both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair though, I did think there was more people on Gallant because of what I know they have for decks.
All I will say, I've probably in Access played like 30, well maybe actually, like 40, 50 rounds now with Gallant.
And how many of them are against us?
And there's only been a singular game where I've had to go into Gallant Action Raisin.
In Raising.
I heard about
That was. I've never seen anything like that.
I was so confused looking at the mirror gauge on my side, right, looking back over his field, going, right, what's he done? And just seeing a Gallant X in the back, being like,
I'm gonna be honest.
Ultimate Game of Chicken.
It would be like seeing you going into Magna X in the Raising. It was just like, why?
Though, speaking of weird interactions, because Amy mentioned King, Overflow 15.
not 12.
12.
Was it 12?
It was 12.
Sorry, few extra. But, like, flipping locked down a board, both of us against each other. We locked down a board for about 10 turns. I had 2
you did
security, he
not
had
see.
0.
Yeah, but you did not see how many turns him and Matt locked down each other for. It was genuinely, I was there for 20 minutes watching the same game, watching none of Matt's Digimon unsuspending for that entire 20 minutes.
But the thing is, King was still doing stuff on his side. When it was me versus King, it was like, Tamers locked down, Digimon locked down, I can't Digivolve this.
And then he bottom decked 2 Mega Gyro Aces and a Truby Ace.
I was just
Overflow
thinking,
12.
the blue Goblimon. What's it start of in? You draw a card if you have a match.
Which
or
one?
In
Yes.
Omnius?
The one in an Omni
Oh,
is
The
just
just draw.
BT15.
The other one's draw.
And
and
I
then there's one
know
that's
Amy
memory.
could run Goblimon with the BT15 Metal Guruma
Why?
to stun 4 Tamers.
3.
3 Tamers.
3 Tamers.
Also, why?
So it solves the hybrid problem.
It's
No.
it's clunky.
It doesn't kind of solve the hybrid problem.
You don't run it as like just a one-off level 6.
I'm gonna be honest. She's got a
I mean, if it isn't nice.
better one of in the deck that kind of also solves the problem of Ice Wall. They're not gonna swing a million times if they lose 2 memory every time they do it.
Yeah.
Every time she played Ice Wall against me, I was like, swing, lose 2 memory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
once
you get it.
I do get it back.
Purple Hybrids isn't going to do that.
Yeah, I suppose it does hold them off for a turn.
Like,
They also gain the memory back at the end of attack, though.
they gain half of it back.
So
But-
they
No, that's what I'm saying. That was Amy answered that.
To be honest though, if you're playing against purple hybrids and it's at the late game, they just jack rate for 4 memory.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
what Will
another
did.
problem,
He
yeah.
just he literally used all 4 jack rates on the one turn to win the game. I was like,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
See, I
Okay.
kind of like with
that's why the deck's so cringe.
what do you call it? With all my testing on Rapid, which I'm not even sure I'm taking, but what do you call it? Mega Gargo. Literally, when they swing, just going blast Digivolve, suspend your 2 tamers, can't Digivolve,
Yeah,
spend a Digivolve.
Rapid is the easiest counter to Purple Hybrids out there, I think. just because of Mega Gargo. Also because of Rapid X itself. Like, yeah, okay, mill 6 cards between us. This is 13k. No, it's not. It's 9. I block. It's like, it never gets the end of attack off. If it ever does, Armor Purge. If it ever does again, Armor Purge again. It's like, I've played 2 Purple Hybrid players during my Ultimate Cup. I took Rapid to get the top 32 at Ultimate Cup. And I played two Purple Hybrid players, and I've never ever felt more secure against Purple Hybrids in my life.
It took me 1 match to realise what I needed to do against Purple Hybrids with Rapid. Like, it's one of the actual better matchups for it.
It's one of those...
Especially black text boxes on everything.
Exactly. It's one of the few matchups where Rapid's simple playstyle is allowed to, like, really, really quickly get up and running.
Thrive.
Yeah, because they also have a very simple playstyle of... They're not going to combo really early on, they're going to combo later on, so Rapid just gets its board up and is like, cool.
Turn 2 normally as well, which is kind of scary enough.
If you get 2 Rapid X's on board, they're literally locked out of the game because they swing with a 6k and it dies.
Especially on their point, like when I was talking about the scramble thing, it was 2 Rapids I got up to, and then level 6s in like 1 turn from nothing.
Any other decks you're worried about? Other than hybrids and Gallant?
Yeah, no. So like my other choice would just be Machindra again, and then just like it doesn't have to worry about hybrids because it's just can't.
Delete the tamer. Delete the tamer. Delete the tamer.
Delete the tamer, and then oh well, you can't delete me whatsoever. And then against Gallant, it's just like okay, well I'll pass turn to evolve unless they're just a smarter player like Shiro. Just slow them out for.
As we've discovered, you just go to time against Gallant with Machindra,
Yeah.
which is honestly not a bad strategy.
You just asked the
go for
machine
draw.
so how many times do I have to kill this?
That is literally Shiro's favourite phrase against you, so I don't even watch it.
So
how many times do I need to
How
kill
many
this?
lives does it have?
How many times do I have to kill it before it's actually dead?
And Gallon lets you do that. Gallon's like alive, just deleted this 3 times in 1 turn.
Which is scary enough, considering the memory gain and the amount of deletions and the unsuspends. Like, it's getting pretty scary.
The issue with Gallant, yes, the protection is really annoying, but honestly, it's the easiest to turn off. You just pass the memory gauge and it's off. It's not the worst to try and remove that.
The timing.
Yeah.
The issue is
the when attacking, or the fact that it can do 5 checks like nothing, the DP, none of that's the issue to me. The issue is it's got fucking dog engine in it. It's got red dog engine. It gains 7 memory as it goes up to its mega.
You really want to share this?
Yeah, something I found out recently. I don't know what the build is, but I found this out recently. I was watching a stream of a locals, and it's people I normally watch do a podcast, honestly.
Oh,
for Digimon.
Digiguard. I was looking at the video on your TV. I was like, I need to watch that later.
They've started streaming locals recently because they watch locals match, and some of them are actually playing it. And I was like, I've just been watching them recently because it's been late at night, just trying to chill too and stuff. And one of them brought up the fact of, was watching, and one of them brought up, they're playing Gallant at this particular locals and stuff. But then they brought up, as what they said next surprised me because I didn't think it, I just didn't think about it or anything. They're like, I'm playing the grind version, not the OTK version.
It makes sense.
And from how they described it, because one of the people who asked, what's the difference? And from the way they described it, the version of Gallant that Shiro essentially played and Wolfville plays it, that's the grind version.
What?
There's a version that does 5 checks and then swings for game.
It's probably gotten... I'm going to be honest, Shiro plays more like an OTK version. He does 5 checks. I'm going to be honest, if he played something like an Omni X or an Omni...
OTKs by accident.
Yeah. if he played a top end that let him attack one more time...
Can I just point out something?
It would OTK very
It
easily.
OTKs by accident.
The best way to describe it, like the way from it was described the OTK version, they essentially are swinging, doing 4 checks, end of attack, trash the last to unsuspend to swing for game.
Oh, I know how they do that.
You're talking about the different level 5.
No, they
don't
run
know.
the same level 5. It's a different level 4 they run to get a bonus sec +1. They run the EX3 level 4. And the EX3 Galmon goes you basically have to have another body on board. So you go
You
swing
delete
when
it.
attacking, delete it to
Yeah.
gain an extra check. So now you're hitting for 3
ones
checks
on it.
instead. Or,
Isn't
well, you
that-
get up
Uh,
to 3 checks.
I've
I don't know
also
how you get the
seen
4th.
them. You can also just run the other level 5.
There is a level 5 in
Did you not just switch
Overworld
out
with
your
Sec
The
plus 1.
other level
Level
5 is if you
4s
don't
as
delete
well
something, you
for
get Sec
demo
plus 1.
grants.
You go into the BT17 Gallon. You will then do 3 checks.
There's a level 5 inheritable that gives Sec plus 1, I think, as well for
Did
Wargrowl.
you not? Could
It's
you not
the
use
starter
Digimon
deck
as well
one.
for Scare?
It's
No,
the
I
starter
didn't.
deck
Sec plus
Gallant one. Whenever opponent's Digimon is deleted, you gain a Sec plus 1. So that's probably easier to use. So you just do 4 checks that way, and then unsuspend trash talk.
Well,
Yeah, the
this is what I
British
mean.
back on the
This is what I mean.
Ooh.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. The way that it was described, from what they described the OTK version, Shiro's on the grind version. He's not on the OTK.
I've been grinding this whole time. I didn't even know it.
Yep.
But
The
no,
grind version just means
What a grind game!
it
like,
does
well,
5
2,
checks
3 turns.
and then leaves your opponent with an empty board on 2 memory, and it goes, try.
Try. Go on.
I mean, that's what I was saying.
I mean,
The grind version.
One, it felt pretty grindy.
I was gonna say
I
that
just know how to do that.
the
Yeah,
sure,
but he was grinding back,
sure,
is what
sure,
it means.
sure.
Hmm.
It's a grind game deck, but it can kill you in turn 2.
Not turn 2, turn 3 maybe.
It can kill you in turn 2 if I get on the X, too.
Like, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, Gallant X feels like such an OTK card. Like, it's the way it's made. Like, especially with the fact that it came out with the Wargrowl X that gives Sec plus 1 inherently. Like, it was always going to be an OTK thing, because with that Sec plus 1 and the unsuspend and trash, that is 5 checks. That is 5 security right there, and that's not, like, hard to do. That's just mechanically how those 2 cards that came out at the same time were made together. So it doesn't surprise me that there's an OTK build where you're trying to do 4 and then trash top
There is an OTK where you can go into GX.
as well, probably.
Which then probably lets you stuff a magna on the
There's
list.
the YouTuber Digimon, he plays an OTK version of it.
Yeah, I just seen that. What you were
tonight's reveal.
We've seen that card before.
We have,
I like
but I
that
know
too.
it's Trevor. It's just
I
3
like
great
that
angels
also.
since one from them. So, I mean, the next person to ask then, but he's currently preoccupied reading, is
That's one of my
Shiro.
favorite Digimon.
Are any decks you're worried about in particular?
3.
Well, I'm playing the cringe deck, so it doesn't. I don't know.
See, he's playing the decks everyone's worried about. So, I'm gonna be honest. For example,
If I'm playing Varus Imperial, my biggest worry.
It's probably Gallant.
No, because I'm going to be passing the memory on their turn when I blitz.
but are you gonna be able to remove it?
If
Does
it's
it
the
need
turn
to?
after they've played Gaunt, I can kill it. If it's the turn they have went into Gaunt, I can't because it's too big. But if it's the turn after, they're only going to be 16k.
You know what that sounds like? The same problem a lot of the rest of us face when it comes to Gallant. If it's the turn after, I can kill it. If it's the turn they've gone into it, I can't. Which then generally means I'm sitting on 0 security, can't kill this Gallant because the turn they've gone into it. And I can't get an answer to this Gallant, which means I'm dead.
I was going to say, if you full combo Gaunt, it's a tier 0 Digimon. You can't compete with it. It just does 5 checks. And then it's
I just wish there was.
it's 30k DP.
I wish there was room in decks for security bombs. Like now, you can run maybe 1 if you're lucky.
I have play tested against Beelzemon before, and Beelzemon's been quite tough because
Just
I'm
rivals it
affected.
up. To be fair, Demon Lords could be
Yeah.
a similar
Stopping
issue.
attacks as well.
Actually, Demon Lords is probably one of the ones I'm worried about, and maybe Royal Knights. Demon Lords I find it really difficult to play against sometimes.
That's nice.
And if you're choosing to play
just
Gallant with
feels
all the
nice to
play
hear.
testing you don't know
Actually,
what
to
decks you
be
were
fair, Royal Knights could be a pretty good counter to Gallant because of the Omekamon to Omni X combo. Because they have like 3 different ways of playing Omekamon on the opponent's turn, which then digivolves to Omni X, which could kill Gallant.
Maybe.
It's potential.
Well, no, if I was playing Gallant, my biggest worries is probably Demon Lords or maybe Royal Knights, just because they're probably going to be complicated to play against because you don't know what they're going to play out. and
A lot more variation.
yeah. Also, Ryukin can also be a problem.
That's
just
fine. You looked
just
at
minus
Russia.
deep 15k DPs, and then if you check security, you think to gain 3 mem.
Honestly, more than that, Takamika is probably the biggest problem Gallant has. We watched it in the Oceania finals.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
going
That didn't
to
go
say,
good.
like, what do you feel about security and 3 Great Angels and stuff with the constant recovery?
I think if I knew how to play against Great Angels better, I shouldn't have lost the.
Yeah, no, I'm just
It's-
curious. I was just going to
I
ask
didn't lose
you.
him, I drew him up, but
I was just curious because I know flipping Gallant is all about getting rid of the security, and they just keep adding to the security. That's why I was like curious.
What did cause a lot of issues was that their that option
Digimon?
card that's broken as shit, and when you trash it, it gives minus 5k to your board.
Oh,
Revelation of
Revelation of Light, yeah. It's such a great card.
Fucking ban that card. That card's fucked.
Do you know what's even worse about it? It's the fact that if you can play 3, because if you have the memory to play 3, you can put them all in security, trash all of them, and like that's minus like what 15k to the board.
There was
That's
at
a
one point
casual
where
towel
he,
loop.
there was at one point where he had 2 out down at the same time, which is basically a ruin mode.
It's worse than a remote.
That brings up something interesting because Lara's planning on trying to build it for Glasgow, and we've all said we'll help her with it. But are any of us worried about Towel Loop?
I am
I
worried.
kind of am.
I feel like it's too high on the radar.
I am worried about Towel Loop, and I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I am heavily got the mask on. I'm breathing the copium of a ban list before I'm to deal with it.
Yeah, I was going to
Like
say
that's my only. I'm trying not to think about it.
it's well on Bandai's radar, and they don't like loops, and we know that.
I'm gonna be honest. The way I see Towel Loop these
Mirage
days,
loops have existed for about.
Yeah, well, Mirage needs dealt with as well, but that's
Yeah.
a whole other problem.
I'm
hoping for the
not
Grand
as
Ban
worried
list
about
on that.
Mirage anymore. I still think the card's dumb. But what I was going to say is, the way I see Towel Loop these days is kind of the exact same way I used to see security control. Of like, there's not going to be many people on it. It's going to be that one of... I'm still probably going to see it because I'm an unlucky fuck. But...
Well, I mean, I seen the guy that apparently watched your deck profile last thing, and he played better with it than you did against me.
That's a point to speak. Just real quickly, just to touch on it. Obviously, for those of us that are choosing to be secretive about our decks and stuff, and to save the idea of double posting, there is going to be no deck profiles before Glasgow. So all the deck profiles will be going up after Glasgow.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm not being secretive about my deck choices. I just have that many.
I haven't
Because
made my decision.
they're not
either.
great. I
also-
could count on all of our hands the amount of decks I'm thinking about.
I'll say, let's put it the clearest before. No one here at this table in the podcast has just fully decided on a deck.
Yeah.
There are decks that some of us are leaning towards more than others. We all have choices. I think the problem is, I think everyone apart from Adam has like 2 free choices. Adam, you have 20.
It's all like in between of like something you want to play and
I
something
mean,
you think will do
Chill
better.
4 or 5.
Like,
There's decks I think I'll have fun with, but won't do well. There's decks I think I'll do well with, but won't have fun. And there's decks somewhere in the middle where I'm not confident enough.
That's
either way.
another point that we haven't touched on. Sorry to cut into.
Don't worry, 'cause I was going to say I was going to add on about the whole thing, but
I was going to say,
Towel Loop.
on top of this, though, it's a best of 3.
It's a best of 3, which
is
is
not a best
very
of 1.
different.
But well, I mean that kind of helps cycle back something because you said about worried about Towel Loop. The something is general. The cycle back to last Glasgow and the similar subject we touched on about being worried about decks. Last time, a lot of us were worried and concerned and hated the idea
Of hybrids?
of Mother Shoto and being because that's kind of came that was the idea of the new security control of just
She did better than half of us. Mother Shoto Machine.
No, not that. No, I mean like the
Going
idea.
against it.
It was more like black hybrids, Mother Shoto control.
Yeah, I know. what
Like
you're
that was
talking
the
about,
it was like the new security control. Are any of us bothered by that?
And that's still up there, and I think, honestly, you should be worried about that because I saw it at Ulti Cup and it beat me with Rapid.
I haven't had.
It was a very difficult match.
I haven't had the thought process yet of playing against it. I need to look into it.
I think it beat me.
I think the biggest issue with that
Ma-
deck is
yeah, I
going
think
to
it beat me.
time.
Honestly, like
That was always the issue of those types of like so security control always pretty much went to time.
Yeah, that's why I think it didn't do well at Glasgow last time.
Let's have a better.
I'm kind of hoping a lot of people don't lean towards it because of the type of deck it is more than.
Let's the best way to describe how much security control goes to time. Adam, how long did you play in that finals where you won that?
So
Parliament.
back last April or March, I played in an online American tournament that was just hosted on a Discord server. That it was like it was an American Digimon team that played it. That hosted the tournament, and the prize was the Ghost Rare Paladin.
The bad one, not the ace.
I played Davis, and I played the final round against Security Control.
Now, just to quickly clarify, they decided for the final round there was going to be no time.
No time
because
limit.
they wanted a definitive winner.
And I'll put it this way as well: there was 2 Davas in that tournament and 2 Security Control. And the round before the final, the 2 Security Control played each other and the 2 Davas played each other. So I was already in a bit of a, this is taking forever, I'm tired. It was like 4 a.m. when the finals started.
Because it was like American
And I
time.
knew I was going against Security Control. So none of this added to it. But I played to Game 3 against Security Control for 2 hours until 6 in the morning. They bottom decked. Obviously, Davis bottom deck a lot of their cards from trash naturally, but they bottom decked all of the option cards in both our decks twice in Game 3. And this man was trying so hard to get me to deck out, and I just was not letting him. I played for 2 hours. I eventually grinded out the win from deck out. It was painful, but they can literally go to time like nobody else.
And Mother Shoto Black Hybrids is the new security control. So, yes,
I would say
they're going to go to probably
I
time.
would say they go to time way less because the way the deck is played isn't more focused around stalling and going to time. It's more just like, it's kind of the opposite. I'm not going to let you hit my security. I'm going to build up loads of small bodies, kind of almost a rookie rush mentality. I'm going to build up small bodies that either will chip away at your security or force your Digimon to attack me where I can ace, kind of like a Numamon sort of. It's a mix of Numamon really, and like with large blockers and
How much time do we get per round in Glasgow?
should be the
I think
standard
it's 45,
50.
and then in
It was
America
45
it's
I'm gonna
55.
cry.
It should be the
That's
standard
what we're-
45-50.
The fact
Because I didn't even say anything.
yeah, Amy did say the
Yeah.
time. Literally just before, but like the best of 3 is going to be interesting as well because when we
I'm
went
so
to the
excited.
first one, I said after it, I was like, I wish I hadn't brought Blue Hybrids. I wish I took something like Masty that I felt so comfortable on instead of something that was good because I felt like I could have played better with something I knew like the back of my hand.
Very weirdly, I feel like I'd be more comfortable if this time it was best of ones because I have a
Why
lot
did
more
you
decks.
risk it?
I have a lot more decks that, in a best of one, I actually feel more comfortable that I can try and just blitz through a win.
In terms of times on round, the only thing that's been confirmed, nothing about Top Cut, is just the Swiss, and that's the 45 minutes.
You know, I was looking at the. Oh, it's a different like regional, so it was, and that's why they're doing theirs.
I mean, they probably will announce a bigger time for Top Cut. Just right now, they're telling the time for people for
It'll
Swiss.
probably go up to like an hour.
The deck I'm most afraid of then is 3 Green Angels because it doesn't win. It just decides to keep adding security every turn, and then
Yeah.
they're afraid to actually swing with their bodies, and then
And on top of that, if they're sitting on Dominimon, they're just sitting there like, you can't really do much about my bodies.
Something to ask the table, because compared to last time, it was your first regionals last time.
Yeah.
How are you both feeling going into this one?
I'm not looking
comfortable.
forward to best 3.
I'm more looking forward to best freeze because I do better. Like, I don't care about a first match because I do that sort of match as like a learning opportunity for like learning a person's play style. So I think more getting the opportunity to see them first and then getting to go second. Like,
It also-
that's
Even
me.
on a best of one, though, like,
It doesn't punish you as much though. Like, say your
Yeah.
deck just decides not to work on that best of one, and it can happen, even
Yeah.
to the best of us.
100% it can happen. But what I was going to quickly say, even on a best of one, and you're saying you learn from a best of 3, like how they play, you still did really well.
Yeah, but it's more. I think it's just a lot of matchups. Like my first match was against like old Gallon, and they can do shit to Machine Draft.
The fair Gallant.
Classic fair Gallon that we
Yeah,
used to love.
well, we talked about actually after the tournament. We were like, Gallant is just a fair deck. All it needs is something unfair to take it up there.
We didn't know what we were asking for. We didn't know what we were putting into the. I blame us for Galantex. We're the problem.
Not just
We're-
us. A lot of people said it. Like the entire Digimon community.
Yeah, but we're the
said
only
it.
ones set around. No, we weren't.
Like the entire Digimon community has said, like Gallon is the fairest of fair decks. There isn't a fairer deck than Gallon, and because it is so fair, it can't do anything. But at the and it was just
It
like
just plays fairly.
it was just like
I just need a bit of support.
and it's just like it's never gonna and like everyone's just like we honestly don't know what it would take to make the deck really good. And then Gallon X comes out, it's like this one card's all it needs.
It's not
Yeah.
even.
Everything
it's
else
not
doesn't
even-
matter. There's one
I'm
card.
gonna be honest.
It's the whole action anybody line.
It's a whole new line.
busted.
Yeah,
The whole line is
The
disgustingly
entire
efficient.
search.
Oh, the memory gain as well.
Memory
Double
gain
searches
is
is normal
disgusting.
now, but the memory gain is just
The memory gain is
ridiculous.
disgusting. On top of the memory gain, you've got the fact that they gain extra protections from the War Growl, extra security attack from the War Growl.
Extra DP
They
from the war
pop
grind.
17 times climbing up their line. They start popping things at their first level 5, then their second level 5, then their first level 6
They're not popping
twice.
4, but
and
it's
then the
really
Gallon
low and
decks-
they gain DP.
The
You
Gallon
can pop
decks
on the
can
level
minus
4 as
4k
well.
Yeah.
2 separate occasions and
it's
then
level
delete.
4 they start popping.
They can pop at level 4.
Oh yeah, with the yeah.
But no, wait, here's the other thing as well. You
You
know
can
if I
pop at the level 6, 1, 2.
3
If you go in normal
times,
Gallant,
3,
you'll
4.
pop twice. If you go into then Gallant Dex, you'll pop a third time.
You'll pop a third time, but you also get 2 separate instances of minus 4k, which
There's-
is technically, at best, if you're trying to go maximize pops, you just minus 4k bodies, and you get an extra 2 deletions off that.
Yeah, like on a certain
that's like-
line,
7 bodies you can kill.
on a certain line, there's 6 or 7 times you can delete
But
something.
it is rather stupid, yeah. But
New red, guys. This is all we were wanting.
I mean, honestly, the other thing that's stupid about Gallon is just the DP increase they get, and it's not
For not popping, yeah.
Well, it's not even about for not popping. No, what was it?
Maybe
The,
even
D-
worse
the
than popping,
DP
yeah.
increase they get, that's till the end of the opponent's turn. It's not even for the turn. It's like no. It's like so. What DP are you swinging at me at? 30,000. Cool. My turn now. Yeah.
What
so what
DP are you
so what
at?
DP's at now? 30,000. What?
The amount of times I asked you that and you answered
I'm
it.
going to be honest. It wouldn't be so bad
Truby
if
killed
they
him.
left you with
Just a
things
bite.
to grind away with them. Like, the way they do it is...
Like,
because they get so big, you're kind of forced into this, right, well, I need to wait off a turn to try and kill you, so I need to grind out. But because of how they progress up their line with the memory gain and the 17 instances of deletion, they leave you with nothing to stand your ground with, and they leave you with no memory to build anything with.
And it's like
It's
the
disgusting.
it's the only like in my head it's the only purest red deck really, realistically that doesn't care about like it can be offensive, it can be aggressive and not get punished by aces because on its way up to the big thing that's going to hit you
It doesn't swing
it goes
until Gallant X
delete
either.
that and then you've got like you say you've
Game
got nothing,
blocker as well.
you've got nothing left to ace with over
Yeah,
so it's
that's
like
why you gotta play the chicken game with it.
it's just like so you're sitting there like
I did
cool
that.
I'm ready to ace, I'm ready to defend myself, you're swinging and I've got no board to ace.
There's only one deck I've
It
lost
feels
to.
like the way Groundus felt in BT11, where it didn't care about being blocked because it's just going to switch and it's going to attack your Digimon anyway and pierce spray at 2k. 4 checks.
Again, though, like
I
the
miss
the
Grandis.
Grandis and the Melga, that was the 2 big decks of that format that you're talking about.
Black War Grey Axe was the
And
big-
Black War Grey, but Black War Grey came a wee bit after.
Give me back my grandma.
No, that was BT11.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, to be fair, they were the 3 big decks of the format. Then.
Yeah, and
Well, no.
it
If you
was-
want to be honest, it was Black War and Grandis because Grandis was the counter Black War and Black War was the big body. Melga was
Sorry, yeah, Melga came up after they got hit.
yeah,
The Black War.
that was the time when Melga was constantly in the shadow of the meta, and every time the meta got hit, Melga went, "We're shining again. We've stayed hidden. We're back."
Yeah, well, to be fair, though, the 2 biggest OTK decks of that format were Grandis and Melga.
yeah.
Like, to be fair, though, we didn't really have as mad amount of removal as Gallant has. And ever.
No.
We just kept swinging.
There was also no counterplay apart from blocking.
Yeah.
There was only a handful of redirects in the game.
There was no aces.
Black War was essentially it. It was the standard, like, I'm going to be here and block your stuff and slowly trash through your stuff.
Yeah, because the Melga Black War was tough.
There's no aces with Gallant decks either.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It feels like Gallant X is just kind of like...
It feels like Gallant X is playing BT9 Digimon again.
BT9 Digimon just was so much more.
So much more in context of
BT9
today's game.
on
Back
track.
then, BT9 Digimon was, I'm going to build up to my level 6, I'm going to
Sure.
swing through your security, and quite unfortunately, you can't say anything about it. You can't do anything about it.
Bring
I'm
back
sorry.
Or
This is
bring
my
back
game.
Or you can.
But
Or you can. It's
it's
the way it played back then.
what I
I'm
was
down.
trying to say though, and this is something that we have discussed. I don't think we've discussed it. You're probably were in the car with him when we discussed it. But like, it feels like Digimon just has way too many protections now and not enough to deal with it.
Like, if you look at protections in terms of... There's two types of protections in Digimon right now. There's, I gain protection from everything, and there is, I have cost sort of things where I can do an action to protect from
Which is the older
deletion or
version,
removal.
yeah.
When you say older, it's still about, like, there's, like,
Machine Melga.
Primogenitor for Imperialdra is the best sort of thing. I'm going to trash this Digivolve to protect from deletion.
Safaga, unsuspend, I gain the protection.
Yeah,
No. That's the other one of I gain protection from
Yeah,
everything.
that's
There's
the
also
one.
the ones who are like
No, he doesn't gain
Black
protection
War.
for everything.
Digimon
But
effect,
this is
same
what-
diff. There's no like.
What I'm trying to say is, like,
There's a difference between
Yes,
gaining.
if your deck
There's a
has
difference.
that
It's called
protection-
Rivals Barrage.
No, but like that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between I gain protection
by
and
doing
there's-
stuff.
and by doing nothing essentially.
Yeah.
Magna does it from Digivolve
Security.
and security, which is, again, I will say, as much as you can block them hitting security, if they're smart or if they're lucky, they have blinding ray, or they have a way of removing that body, or they have a way of getting past it, or they have unblockable, so many different ways of getting that security removal to proc it. Safaga, it's so easy to suspend and unsuspend something. Gallant is, yes, the easiest to gain because you just have to be on 0 or less, but it's also the easiest to lose because your opponent decides when you lose it. Like, it's so annoying. Certain decks just say, I have protection from everything you could possibly try and think of to do right now, except very, very small windows.
Chaos deck.
Whereas certain other ones, it's like, okay, I have to be careful not to trigger this. I have to be careful not to proc this, or I have to force the proc of this. Like with Primogenitor, sometimes you want to force the Imperial line to die to get it to remove that.
Mega
so you can
Gargle
kill it
is so
properly.
great against that if anyone's listening, because you just go, that Digimon can't Digivolve, swing over it, trigger Progenitor, okay, if you want.
Like, there's... There
You're
is...
forgetting about one version of protection, which I think should be the only version of protection in the game,
What?
where you draw sources to protect.
Yeah, that is 100%.
That's
the
a really...
bearer.
Like, the most...
Melga, Machindra.
The most recent
It's
one of
the
that
most
is
fair
Fragment.
version of it because
You're losing stuff.
You're
Yeah.
losing resources.
Yeah.
if your opponent deletes your Digimon, it shouldn't just be it does nothing. You should lose something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should
No,
be
I
a
would
cost
agree.
to it.
I would agree. There's no cost to things like Gallant and Safaga and Magna X.
It's like an actual real battle where like your Digimon takes like a fucking swing at the other opponent's Digimon. Doesn't
It kind of
kill
makes it unfair for
but, like,
decks that don't
damages
have it,
it.
is what I'm trying
No,
to
Whereas
I know, well-
Magnac's just like I am God.
Well, I
I
mean,
cannot be
I-
touched.
I'm not a slight counter argument to the Magnex, slight one, in terms of what the argument you're trying to make. So in terms of Gallant and Safaga, yes, their protection is unlimited in terms of what they can do. Magna is limited. There is the cost per se of, yes, a card has to be removed from security, and that in most games is a very finite resource. It's a matter of if you've put me down to 0 through good gameplays and like outplayed me before I've even got to Magna X or whatever, and I've got you down to 0 security. That's it. My Magna protection's gone. Like I can't trigger that anymore.
The difference with Magna X is it protects from everything.
I know it does, but I'm not saying that makes it any better. I'm not trying to defend it.
I agree with you. It's the one of the three that has the highest cost, but it's also the one where it's like, okay, yes, you're paying £10 for something, but what you're getting is worth like £10,000. Like it's
I'm not arguing that.
I'm unbalanced in that sense.
Again, I'm not arguing that. All I'm arguing is Magna's protection is coming from a very finite resource.
It is, but again, even then, depending on the build, like you can't tell me there isn't a build of, like for example, it's why they had to ban the TK. Armor vaccine could just recover itself to remove its own security and just not even remove security. Look at security, take out and replace. So you're not losing anything. That's why that build was so disgusting, because they actually didn't lose any cost to trigger the Magna X.
Yeah, they didn't. But Magna X, most of the time when you see Magna X, it's the VMON version.
Now it is, because the TK got limited.
Yeah.
But even then, armor vaccine is still about somehow.
Real quick, I believe, did you say before you said you had a question before?
Oh, yeah, so I was wondering...
Because I didn't want to get bypassed too far.
Is it fish or deep sea that has the whole end of attack in memory?
That's fish.
Fish? Okay, because I was thinking against Gallon, because it's like, if you have one or less memory, gain it back. But I didn't know if it was like...
you're going to attack while you're at 1 and then at the end attack you get it back.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was
I think the Metal Siege stuff does that too, the Giga Siege stuff.
They play with the memory gauge a bit. It's like, if you're on 1, or some of them say 1 or less, some of them say 1 or more, they do certain effects.
Yeah, but I was trying to think if there was a way of playing it where, I don't know, you pass a turn swinging somehow, and I was just trying to
get over Gallon, then gain the turn back, the same as Gallon normally does Dells.
That's why Fenrir's good, because it just turns off Gallon's protection.
I don't know, I was just gonna ask what
there probably is ways to do that, especially probably like you say with the Giga one, maybe just because they are X antibodies, so then technically you can just I don't have to build to do it, but you run the X antibody BT91 swing, trigger it, pay the duration cost, the memory's now on your opponent's side, which means the Gallon's turned off, do stuff, and then somehow gain the memory back.
Yeah, the Giga Seeker uses the old Dark Side on it.
Yeah, so they've probably got ways to play with it.
I think there's like I say, Gallon's probably, weirdly enough, the most fair with this protection, because like I say, your opponent can decide whether or not they have it. In terms of things like Safaga and Magna, they just gain it, and after they've gained it, there's nothing you can do. They have it now. You can't suddenly turn that off.
I think if Safaga had a way to gain a shit ton of DP, it would deal with Gallant easily.
The issue
though, Safaga could get like 25k,
and then you'll gain the memory back.
The issue is the most fair doesn't cover Gallant, because to get rid of it, you have to give them so much memory, so that
on paper it's the most fair. In actuality,
it's definitely not.
So without using Alliance in a single line off the top of my head, the highest Safaga line, including 2.5,
18k
is 20k.
20k? 2k?
Because if you use the Structured X Safaga to unsuspend, get the 3k, 2k inheritables, you digivolve that Safaga into the Ace, because it's base DP's first.
These guys
with
I
the
was
Ace,
mad
okay,
for Parasite Man to get that extra DP.
I think that's only 19. No, it's 20, it's 20, it's 20.
Hear me out. You go into Safagamon, then hard play the Medieval, then Alliance.
Or
I'm on about without Alliance.
Or you just run Amy's tech option that she was telling you about, so you put a Digimon on their board.
I'm not doing that.
Do you run an Octomon?
No, I am not playing Octomon at bloody regional. I will do it for a side event.
Guys, so you run Octomon and Vortex, you run as a one of, you hard play the Octomon, you put a suspended token on their board to Vortex into. That's the tech choice. It's incredible, and it should be ran in every Vortex deck.
I want to point out...
Out of 10 cards.
I want to point out I have thought of this exact tech choice since flipping Vortex pretty much came out. It's nothing new to my mind.
But he's just too much of a pussy. Anyway.
So, Scott, can we talk about Cherubius?
Can we go back?
He tried it.
I tried it. I still didn't like it.
Anyway, Glasgow.
Did you win the match?
Can we go
won
back
the
10 minutes?
round.
Can we go back 10 minutes? Because I wanted to say something
Yeah, sure.
way back now.
Go back 10 minutes. We're back in time, guys. 10 minutes, yeah.
What was even 10 minutes ago?
In the last
So
podcast,
awesome one, right?
in the last podcast, we said what would be tier 1. And I said that it would be Virus Imperial.
And you said...
And someone said, that's going to be shit, basically. It's not going
I
to do
didn't believe.
It's not going to do anything.
I didn't believe, and I think it was the next week. I had already changed my mind on that because I saw how you were playing. Like we played some matches, on Discord, and you played that against me, and I saw that. Oh, this is actually faster than I remember. this has gotten up to.
Well,
the,
no,
the
I wasn't
stuff.
even playing the new Virus. I was just
Yeah, it
playing
was the
one.
current stuff, and I'm like, this is faster than I remember, and this is how it is now.
To be fair, faster than you remember, though, Varus and Pildra had that peak of being really, like, played a lot and then just dropped because the older Pildra was just still just as good, and they liked having the old one by the seams of it. That's why Varus kind of, like,
Out of curiosity...
it's never really lost that speed, it's just you've never seen it for a long while.
I don't remember it having that speed to begin with, Trevor. Like, it's not like I remembered it being speedy in the first place. I always remembered it being quite slow.
I suppose as well, are you running trainings?
No, you don't need trainings.
Oh, okay. Are you running the blue-green tamer?
I am at the moment, but I might drop it. Also.
A lot of people have been dropping.
I was going to say that it's kind of interesting.
Out of curiosity, do anyone remember what we? Cause I don't. Is why I'm asking. I'm not asking like, hey guys. Like, do we remember what we were talking about for Raw Nights being
Tier 1. Me
I
and
said it
Shiro
would be
both
tier
said tier
1.
1.
I'm pretty sure I was skeptical.
You were
Yeah,
skeptical.
yeah.
It's tier 1 though. Like it's
on the
beyond
apps.
especially looking at the 2 weeks it's been out in Japan. It has been consistently at the top in the like looking at people like East videos. 10 plus wins. Like it's been incredibly variable in all of its deck builds. There's so many different ways they build it.
I watched East's latest video, and something he said that obviously you don't see from the image. So in the image it says about 10 plus ones, and it's Roll Knights. When he talks about Roll Knights, he goes, it's actually got triple or double the amount of wins compared to the next one down, which that means it's immediately at 12.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's just hit 10. It's like it's clearly in that bracket and beyond. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure along like he was kind of talking along the lines of he would have to properly like make extra backstory to kind of show really how many wins it's got.
I'm gonna be honest.
Someone around here played.
The argument I had
Like
was if it wasn't tier 1 with all the support, then Bandai failed completely.
Yeah.
I genuinely think it just comes down to the Omni X. Not even the whole package, but
It's
just
the cool boy in the action card.
the Omni X itself though. The issue with Royal Knights before, and it was the same with Demon Lords, but they had a little bit less because they had things like Beelzemon. The issue with Royal Knights before was it was really waiting till it's Omnimon to WinCon to get through security. Now with Omni X, every single turn they can not only play a giant level 6 body, but every turn they can attack with that level 6 body. And it's, or 7 or whatever it is. They can just keep chipping away at security with these big bodies that you like, what are you meant to do? Like they're hitting every single turn now rather than sometimes they can pop out a body with rush, maybe.
This
now
is
it's
under the
consistent.
assumption though that the Omni X is on the board all the time.
They run it at 4.
But
They probably mulligan until they see the Omni X.
You only get it out for free if you're at like one member or one security.
They don't need to play it out for free. They need to. They play it for reduced cost.
It's like 16 play cost. The people I've seen play Royal Knights have said the reason it is so much better is because Omekamon goes into your egg, which reduces your costs. So basically, you're playing Royal Knights now.
Yeah, they stack it under the egg, and
Yeah.
it makes it cheaper quicker.
But they're saying you're playing Royal Knights now, maybe 2 or 3 memory cheaper, a turn quicker, which is why it's so good. And then the Omniax is just broken.
The Omniax is broken because regardless of how quick it is making bodies be able to
What's the
attack
spell called?
quicker.
16.
Yeah, was it?
It's why I brought it up, was looking at its play cost.
You can
From
keep it
turn
on board
3,
with the option card, you can protect it.
that's like down to 8. Turn 3, that's down to 8. And 8 4, like
We had piercing blocker to begin with as well. Jeez.
Again, this is the other thing. Like, this is something I completely underestimate about the Omnimon. Like, 'cause every time we've spoken about it, in my head, this has been a pure white card. Because that's what every other Omnimon is.
Viva la Resistance.
Oui.
Because every Omnimon in my head, it's always been white. Like, Omnimon's just
Yeah.
white.
Guys,
So-
we're in Northern Ireland. He's red, white, and blue.
So, when I eventually was, like, obviously seeing it in, like, Magna X a lot and stuff,
I always knew
I
he was a
eventually-
loyalist.
but,
I mean, he is a royal.
but yeah, like, after seeing it constantly, like, in Magna X, I had to go back and be like, why is this card so good? To then realise, oh, he has blue and red as colours.
Yeah.
It's
On top of
keyword
that,
soup
Can
on top
I
of that.
please point out something
Well,
as
I'm
well?
talking about the keywords.
Holy Warriors X Antibody Royal Knight Liberator.
Yeah,
What's Liberator trait?
It's a Liberator trait as well.
I said this when it got revealed.
Yeah.
that's like 4 traits.
but yeah, but
It's
with
also a vaccine.
but like you say, with all that though, with it being blue and red, it means it's searchable with trainings and boosts, which outside of needing sort of like, oh, for example, if you decide to play in War Grey, outside of like, oh, Ogumon play, oh, there's the Omnimon, I better grab it now because my Ogumon can grab it and nothing else can. Now it's like, I want to skip on that because later on my boost or training could hit.
And let's be honest as well, with Royal Knights in particular, they're pretty much one of the only
need
decks
so many
about
things.
right now that can just not give a shit about
I
medieval.
don't want one.
Because,
I need 2 or 3.
yes, you're hard playing stuff, but the thing you're hard playing can usually probably kill the medieval before it gets a chance to trigger. So it doesn't have to worry about medievals. You're not going to people aren't going to run the floodgate rookies like we say, because decks are just too tight on space right now. Decks, like, they're
2 or
easily
3.
killed. They're not going to be
That's what I need.
like an issue.
Which
so
sucks.
they don't have as many obstacles anymore. I feel like the board's kind of cleared because of other things.
What's also broken about this? If you don't deal with it, so say you're playing Gallant, for example, or a deck that uses Axe Antibody, so Magna,
Melga?
you're going to board wipe. Okay. That's fine.
Hey, look, we actually have control
If you
of the
do
board,
not
folks.
deal with it, the turn after, you can play any Digimon you want.
Give a rush and attack by
Yeah,
spinning.
you can play a 15 cost Digimon, and you can choose to give this. So you're doing 2 checks regardless. The next turn, it's even more broken the turn after.
On top of that,
That's what I was saying
Weird
with
piercing
Royal Knights
blocker is
though.
ridiculous.
Now
as
they
well.
have bodies that can attack every turn. That's the
If you can
difference.
keep on
Do you
board,
guys think
yeah.
they'll replace medieval in some decks?
This will
No.
I feel like it could, depending on the deck.
Like I am planning to run this and go.
Like, honestly, like, reading
Over
this,
Crimson
I
Moon.
instantly want it for Melga. It's fucking insane. Instantly want it for blue hybrids again from
It's
seeing.
instantly one off for like Greymon and stuff.
Yeah, like, it's
I
just
just
got
wish it was
so
better
much.
from the
It's Blitz Omni. I'm
Well,
gonna be
you
honest.
got to put
Even
it
in
in.
Omni Ace, I'm
You're
seeing
still
this
going to put 1 or 2 in.
you can still run it, and
You can, yes, but there's very, very.
now you
very,
can win from
very-
higher security counts.
There's very like niche opportunities where you're like in Omni Ace with memory on your turn. Now I will say
If you've just blasted an Omni Ace or just option card into it, and that's the way your Omni Ace is on
if
board,
you can keep it on board, yes, it's
that's like
broken.
50% of the
Yeah.
way you get it on
Watch
board.
Omni Ace players start playing X Antibody with the DNA.
Can I ask one thing on Omni, or Omni Ace player? Because you 2 are judges now, so you might actually have the answers to this.
If you're talking about the end of turn thing, it doesn't work.
So you can't end a turn rush and attack without
No,
spinning,
because
and then end a turn DNA.
The end of turn would have already happened.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. So you'd have
end
to.
of turn trigger has already happened.
Right, okay.
If it's
Now, if it worked the way you wanted to, Trevor, yes, this
Because
is
you get like
completely
2
broken
3
in Omni.
swings for Omni.
Because when it first came out, all Reddit was going crazy, saying this is so good, this is amazing.
To be fair, it's still good, and it's just not as amazing.
Well,
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at this.
I was gonna, I'm bringing it up just purely to ask. I wasn't fully convinced. I want to use to remind me, what was your two opinions on the Safaga Ace doing for Vortex at the time?
I thought it would be very good for it, but I didn't know if it would be like good enough to push it beyond
This is
where it
fucking
is.
insane.
And I would say that's a good assessment. As far as I remember, I don't remember saying that it's going to make it busted.
I said it'll be broken.
It is absolutely insane. Just reading it.
Just because it has Pearson, Blocker, and Vortex on the one card.
Piercing Vortex Blocker. When this Digimon suspend, this Digimon may unsuspend, so you immediately are allowed to unsuspend it.
I'm going to correct your reading there, Trevor, because you said
When any Digimon suspend?
Yeah, you said when this Digimon
Oh,
suspends.
sorry, when any Digimon suspend. May unsuspend. Oh, look! Safaga protection built in.
Well, no, it has no protection, Trev.
No, I meant the other Safaga. If you have another Safaga and you have the Safaga, yes, you get to go, okay, I'm going to block. This Digimon became suspended, so unsuspend the Safaga. Oh, look, this Safaga has now got its protection.
Can I just say
That's playing up 2 lines. Read the black text box, Trev.
Oh, no, I know. Play cost 10 or higher, level 6, Vortex Warrior, cost 1.
you can go over medieval?
You can go over medieval, you can go over a lot of stuff. It's insane for the deck. It's insane. It's just insane. It's insane and not just its own deck. It's insane in a lot of decks.
Actually, a few green decks have been playing. This is a 1 or 2.
I mean, that is a cost 1 in Leopard.
I did tell you that a wee bit. Yeah, that's what I mean, Leopard compilers.
Cost 1 Safaga Ace.
I think it's good. I think it's going to be good in Savagamon. I still think Savaga is a very skill level based deck. I don't think...
Oh, 100% it is.
Unlike things like Gallant and Magna and Purple Hybrids to an extent, and Royal Knights probably to an extent, it's kind of sits somewhere like Imperial Dra. I feel like it's not one of those decks that can just win on its own merits. It needs a good player behind it.
Good pilot.
I never actually thought about this.
Yeah.
You could actually run this as one of your aces in Rapid, and then because of its when Digivolving, you suspend one of their Digimon, then for every 2 you may return, so you get to suspend. And
what's
then
been
just
happening?
immediately DP reduce.
What's been happening with this card outside of Vortex? Any decks that have been essentially been running a Mega Gargo Ace have essentially been replacing their Mega Gargo Aces with this card for 2 reasons. One is it's as a bit better of a defensive play. Second, like it's overall it's bustiness. But the main reason, compared to Mega Gargo, worst case scenario, it has an on play.
It's actually a wee bit less good than I thought because I actually missed this Digimon.
Yes.
May unsuspend.
Yes.
It's still okay. It's just not as highly broken as I thought.
It's just casually a double blocker, Trev.
Yeah, it is casually a double blocker.
What I want to say, going back to Omni though, with the new Agumon and Goblimon, you can potentially go straight into Omnius for 4 mana.
I have no idea what that was. Camera's still going and all that. It's fine. Please do not lean on the chat.
It's not that I was just double checking that it hadn't said like start recording and just immediately stopped on you.
No, it's fine.
What if we haven't been recording this whole time?
I would hate life. But no.
Might be better.
But yeah, so we've talked about like problem decks. We're thinking about face. What?
If we're going to start talking about deck choices, I can just take over from here and talk for an hour because I've got that many.
Well, I'm about to we're talking about with free and against, but we can say. We'll go through it. So I've already said mine that I'm thinking about taking is between Magna and Vortex, and I am leaning more towards Vortex because.
Go on this way because I'll go last.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm feeling like
Tech pieces mostly.
tech pieces are really helping. Vortex is feeling like it's got a chance to shine. Like to do well, and I don't know if we'll get that again. And it's a deck. It's not only a deck that has a chance to do really well, but it's a deck that I've been loving a lot and enjoying. And obviously, I don't feel like there's going to be anything better than playing in a big tournament, doing well in a deck that you actually have fun with at the same time. You know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. We all have fun in the decks we play, but like I mean, there's a lot of people out there that will happily just. What's the meta? I'll drop $1,000 buy the deck. Let's go win.
I'm gonna be honest. I really wish there was there was a big regional back when I was playing Shine and BT13, because that was like the peak of fun for me.
To be fair, on top of that, me and you sitting and just focusing on that deck for like a solid 4 weeks.
But no, so I am leaning more towards Vortex. Before this week, I was almost 80% towards Magna, honestly. But like after this weekend, like I am more like 80% towards Vortex. Trevor, it's up to you. You can say if you want any deck.
Confidence comes because he beat me. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, you can say if you want to, and this goes for everyone at the table when we go around. You can say what decks you're thinking about if you want to. You can say one, you can say two, you can say all, you can say none.
I have 3 decks at the minute that are like at the top. The first one, Masty. Like, I'm super comfortable with Masty. Adam said it before, it just flows for me. Like, it's just the first deck I started.
I think I said to you, I forgot how smooth you are on Masty. Like, it just feels so second nature to you.
Yeah.
Would you play in a best of 3 though?
I would. I do very well with Masty in best of 3. The issue I have...
It would just go to time a lot.
The issue I have... Well, not so much anymore. I feel with the new builds, like, it doesn't really grind game as much as it used to. But the issue I have is Medieval Gallant.
Medieval Gallant.
Playing them Gatos is just brutal.
I'm going to be honest. Medieval's, like we said, it's probably going to be, like, good chance of...
I would like to put in another thing of... Red, Purple, Imperial.
Red, Purple,
Imperial says,
yeah, I mean...
You do not play Digimon or Tamers by effects.
Again, like, I've played in the Red, Purple, Imperial during the time Red, Purple, Imperial was around the first time. I know it's the new stuff. I know. Don't worry, I know. Like...
Bro doesn't know about Wormmon.
Like, I'll say...
It's not even the Shadramon, it's the fucking Wormmon.
No, the Shadramon is also stupid.
It's playable. It's still playable,
broken.
especially with the aces now. Like, you're not as trapped in needing to play your Digimon by effects and Masty as much as you used to be. It slows you, but yeah.
I will say though, when you're winning the Virus Pearl, you're wiping the board -1 Digimon.
Yeah.
And then you're going to delete that one Digimon when you win the new Virus Pearl.
Yeah, I'll say though, Masty has its counterplays to it as well. Chaos Day probably being one of them.
So, Masty, any others that you want to mention?
Rapid is up there with it as well. Like, Rapid have been testing out, changing about a bit. It's pretty solid in a lot of decks. The biggest issue is that man there.
I'm not even good at Gallant. It's just
Gallant is the biggest worry. The other big one though that is super good in the Gallant but feels so bad against most of the rest of the meta is Blue Hybrids. Like, I'm still pretty solid on them. They're still rushed through security.
Well, I mean, your version of Blue Hybrids has changed a lot. Because, I mean, like, so last Glasgow when you took Blue Hybrids.
Oh, yeah, I was nowhere near where I am now.
You had practically no practice on it, and you also...
I think the blue base was better than the red base after the Glasgow Regionals.
But you were also on the red base, which was the better version, and I probably...
I felt more comfortable in the blue version, though.
You were more comfortable.
Yeah, literally, as soon as I started playing the blue, I just felt more smooth and comfortable.
Current Blue Hybrid build.
Yeah, it's a bit weird on certain tech choices, but it works.
You catch a lot of people off guard.
Yeah,
I must say some of your taming choices is what I find weird. Like, for example, like the JP, it's stuff like that. So it's like,
but it works out.
Why?
Phil trash draw cards.
It works out sometimes a little bit.
No, it's never come up that it hasn't worked out.
Sometimes a little bit.
To be fair, honestly though, one of the things with the Blue Hybrid, I feel like I might... Blue Hybrids has the issue of being memory choked. As it always had. I feel like some of the unblockable tamers or some of the other tamers that I've been using for memory or tech choices probably need to go back to the memory setter Kojis, the single coloured ones, just for not only jamming, but, you know, just that extra memory setters.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the main three. There is a couple of other decks like I would like to try and get up to point, but none of them seem as strong at the minute.
Fair. Shiro, what decks are you thinking about if you want to mention any?
My top 3 are Digimon.
Bullshit. You hated that today. Be for real.
I mean, hang on now. As a Digimon player,
Leopardmon, no.
As a Digimon player, you can agree that it will die to
Everything.
medieval.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
And Virus and Pildra.
I should just scoop as soon as the play that. But,
I mean, it depends.
There's no
my
depending.
top 3 are Galmon, Virus Imperial, or Omnius.
Are you not considering Royal Knights at all? You have the deck.
No,
Really?
I don't like it.
Fair.
It's valid.
No one heard that. They give me the cards for it. But, so, I am very worried about the time limit on the rounds, which is kind of put me off Virus Imperial, because going full combo in Virus Imperial, even if you're very fast at doing it, which I think I'm pretty fast at doing it, it still takes time to go like 4, 4, 5, 5.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
do it
it's-
5, go into the 6, you have to do this, that. And then by the time you've done all that, 3 minutes has passed, and then your opponent's just looking at you like, what are you doing?
Sometimes it does feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where it's just like, is it my turn yet?
Trust me, I know that feeling from last Glasgow. XV Monster 1 DNA. XV Monster 1 DNA. XV Monster 1 DNA.
But the problem with
Bear in
Virus
mind, I was
Imperial-
debating just getting that deck off you and just putting Hexables at the top.
The problem with Virus Imperial, you're maybe doing that. You can potentially do that maybe 2 times on one turn. There was a time at the locals when I played it, and I went into Dragon mode 3 times on one turn. Just because they kept deleting it, and I was like, oh, okay. You just
Partition.
put all my stuff into my trash.
Do it all again.
I've just played out partition and all this stuff. Okay, well, go again.
But like it's so I don't even know how to talk about it. It's like, because it's a weird thing for DNA line, because it's like most of the DNA decks you have played actually where you get into one and that one plays the other one, and then you DNA, and then that one plays the other one, which lets you DNA.
It also counters medieval, because the new Pyodramon says, well, you'll go into the Dino Bay, that's your main level 5 DNA. You'll play the new Pyodramon, and the math Pyodramon says if this or Dino Bay would be deleted, you just DNA in the Dragon mode.
Which is bad enough. And
So it completely counters Medieval, which was
Yeah.
the weak point before.
That would medieval would have turned the deck off otherwise. But say they have to do that, because I'm going to delete the medieval when I go into Dragon mode and then Fighter mode anyway. So they have to trigger the deletion of it regardless. So it's I mean they do get to suspend it so it can't attack, but just when they try
If it's
to
already
delete it,
mid-attack though, because like, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
the
you
Dino
have to-
B
you
will
have to
trigger.
resolve the attack
Yeah, it
first,
triggers
yeah.
the attacking, and then the thing gives the plus 4k to itself for the Dino B or whatever.
Yeah.
And then that's the first instance that Medieval can trigger. And by that stage, if they do, you just DNA.
Yeah, Imperial, I'm just worried about the round timers. Gallant wins or loses quickly, and Omni-Ace wins or loses quickly.
and you're playing Shine.
Yeah,
Don't forget that.
Shine
Yeah.
Shine's
Shine
actually
loses quickly. I'll answer that question. Shine loses quickly and wins never.
Top 4 in a team event with you on Shine, so you didn't pull your weight. Gotcha.
What I was going to say though, Shine does get
I was
support
back
soon.
when.
Yeah, in 21.
In
You
21.
just have to hope that it's still relevant by the next regional.
So, Amy,
Yes.
if you want to talk about your any deck choices, if any,
I said
that you're
was
thinking about
just
taking.
either Ice Snow or Machine Jar. Machine Jar I just think has the strongest chance, honestly, again, in this sort of meta thing that we're in. Ice Snow, I can hold out in a game, but it's very easy to sort of get around once you've played it, in my opinion.
I think it's very easy for you to be aggressive with Ice Snow as well, though. It's it's easy to really quickly take games with Ice Snow compared to Machine Draw.
I'm gonna be like.
I think if it was best of one, Ice Snow would probably be the better option because it would catch people off really quickly with how aggressive it can be.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, like, I feel like off the top of my head, I feel like Machine Draw just has that better. I can't think of the exact word, so I'm gonna use a different word, like stubbornness to stay on the board.
Survivability.
Survivability, but at the same point.
It's got the dog in it just to keep fighting.
Ice Snow is the better deck to make it super awkward for you, purely because Polar Bearmon.
Polar Bearmon is just like insane.
Like Ice Snow can do 4 checks pretty easily if you're going to Scotty.
4 checks or more.
I get 5 checks if I go into the Pildra.
Again, the amount of times Mega
I
Cargo
swing
has
jamming,
helped me survive
going to push
that.
Pildra, unsuspend if my opponent has nothing, and going to Scatty, hopefully, like ideal. Play something out, swing 2 checks, unsuspend.
And obviously we've had the idea of putting Omniacs in to get that final. Like, there's I think a deck that isn't played towards an OTK style, but can, for example, I've said about your Savaga, of keeping the X7 one in, simply because it gives a deck that doesn't typically OTK an OTK line, which can catch people off guard, or even yourself off guard, that, oh, I just win here now. Cool.
I will say it won you our first game, I think, that card. Was it the first or second one?
It was.
Because I'm not really scared against playing Safaga, because it's like, it does 1 or 2 checks, who gives a shit? And then you went into the X7, I was like, I'm on 1 security.
Well, to be fair, the EX7 Safaga, like, people have been playing it for Gallant. It's for that matchup. It's not, like, there for anything else. Like, it's purely there to kind of, because it's got the high digivolution cost, so the idea is, I'm going to spend this memory to put the memory to your side to make you affected, and then I'm going to get rid of you. Because that Safaga does not care about your DP. It's like, cool, you're at 50k DP. Cool, well, I want to suspend one of my Digimon or even myself, and because your because your Gallant X is already suspended, it's going to the bottom of the deck. I'm not battling you.
Not after turn the window, though.
Well, that's
Wargirl X prevents that.
If you get into Wargirl,
the card's broken.
But this is the thing. So, like, one of the things, like, so Adam said about keeping it in real, like, if you kept it in, you'd only be keeping it in for the OTK potential. Because outside of that, you'd replace it just for the Ace, because the Ace does all the same stuff.
I think it's still worth having known of. Like, I think
it's OTK potential because of it plus the Ace, though.
It accelerated the game so much in that game that.
But so would the Ace, is what I'm saying. Like, in terms of card for card, so the Ace would do 2 checks. Because when it attacks, something's suspended, so therefore it will unsuspend. So it's doing 2 checks. And then I can use it to, when I digivolve into it for the cost of 5, I can suspend something down, and then for every 2 suspended, I can bottom.
I'm sorry, that's not the same as doing 2 checks naturally, though. Because the issue is, the Safaga has, the X7 one has Sec plus 1 printed on it, which means it's not doing 2 checks on me, it's doing 4. Because you unsuspend and hit again so often with Vortex, because of how it's built. You are hitting for 4 security there.
I know that. I'm on about just an initial thing. I'm not on about the initial fitness of, like, I'm not on about gaining the memory back, retaining turn, therefore doing extra swing. On its own merit, card for card.
only here to stop him banging the table.
On card for card merit, this says +1 check. I swing once. I do 2 checks. This says when I swing, I unsuspend, swing again. But this one does. The first one does not say I unsuspend myself. So I'm not trying to.
I don't think that, again, even card for card, the Safaga Ace is going, I swing 1 check, and if I have the memory to swing again after I unsuspend, I can do that. But card for card, without memory gain, like you just said, if you've got no memory gain, you go swing 1 check, and if you have no memory gain, if you're vortexing, that's it. That's all the checks you've done. You've unsuspended your blocker now. Congrats. Safaga AX7 goes, I swing, no memory gain, I've done 2 security. That's card for card. That's how that goes.
You're going into scenarios and combo. Like,
I'm not. I literally just use your words. No memory gain. This does 1. This does 2.
You've used my words in a different way. I'm on about I'm not trying to play memory. I'm not trying to play the game when I'm analysing them. I'm trying to go, what does the card do? I'm not caring about, is my memory at 0? Is my memory at 10? Is my opponent at 10? I'm not caring. I'm outside the realm of gameplay. I'm going, look at this card and look at this card. I'm not playing them. You're going, let's look at this card in the game. Let's look at this card in the game. There's a difference.
The difference is this one says, I swing once, I do 2 damage. This card says, I swing once, I do 1 damage.
No,
That's card for card. That's
Guys,
what they say.
I do want to go home tonight, so can...
I mean, you say that, but we're still, like, in our typical podcast time, we've still got another hour,
Oh,
Trav.
fuck, okay. Anything else?
but
Amy? Or-
Card for card, the sec +1 makes a difference. Like,
It makes a difference if you are comboing.
I just know he has to talk about 20 decks, so there's a
No,
lot.
it makes a difference if you're putting the entire line in a situation, if you're putting the vortex into a situation. It makes an entire difference when you're putting everything else into it. When you're just going outside the game, read what this card does and read what this card does, they both say, I do 2 checks.
no, they don't. This one says, I do 1. I swing, I do 1 damage. I swing, I do 2 damage.
I swing, I unsuspend, I swing. I do 2 damage.
Okay, but
Guys, outside of the game, they do nothing, because they're just cards.
but I'm trying to understand how in your head that's the same thing
It's
because
just a different
they're
viewpoint
not.
on-
It's because, like I say, I'm not trying
That was
to.
good.
I'm not trying to play them in the game.
But I'm not playing them in the game there. I'm literally saying
No,
outside
you
of
are.
I'm not.
No, because here's the thing. What you're trying to say is, I've passed the gauge, and I've triggered vortex.
I haven't said that last 5 times.
No, I'm just saying. What you're trying to say is, this swings, and then that's it. This swings, I do too. No, this has the wording: if something suspends, unsuspend.
We're not in the game. We're
No,
not in the game.
No, but
It's done 1 damage when swinging.
no,
Okay.
it's
It
gonna.
can swing again potentially.
No, again, you're not understanding the viewpoint.
I understand the viewpoint. I'm trying to.
I am reading
So
the
just
word.
understand it's a different
No,
viewpoint.
so here's the thing: if you were to read Melga X, when it says unsuspend, is that 1 check or 2?
1 check.
No, it's 2 because it says unsuspend.
It's not 2. It's not 2. It does 1 check, Lumi. It does 1 check.
Okay,
It can do 1 check many times, but that 1 check is 1 check.
Can we point out we're going down a side tangent here?
I know
You're
we
getting
are.
very heated about a side tangent.
I know, but it's literally.
I would argue one of them says 4 checks and one says 2.
There
That-
you go.
That's if you're going into every mechanic possible with the deck.
I would
I
argue,
would argue
what
Melga
both
does
could,
10 checks.
I can argue that against Angels, both say I do 0 checks. I could argue against a deck like Diabora where it spawns 20 tokens. Both cards say I do as many fucking checks as I want because I'll just swing 30 times. I could argue a million different ways,
I've got 30
but what
tokens,
I'm
what?
saying, this card with no line, this card with no line,
That
on
doesn't matter, 'cause you can't
whatever
win occasion.
memory,
No, but
I
then they're
turn
gonna switch
sideways
the target
once,
and
2
be
checks.
cringe.
I turn sideways
you block
once,
it again.
1 check,
Yeah.
and
You
then
can't
I
win occasion.
unsuspend. Whatever else
But hold
happens
on,
after
you
that,
have no
regardless
token
of
check.
game
Finish your
Rob,
word.
you
You
roll
unsuspend, then you swing again. Second check.
Okay, no, because if you're going to play the game, if you're gonna go in that scenario of I swing, unsuspend, and then wait for that attack resolve,
Calm
then
down,
swing
Diva,
again.
calm down.
No, but I'm not the one playing the game there. You are because
I'm
you
not.
have
I'm just reading
Lumi.
every
Lumi.
word that says unsuspend is a +1 check for every other deck.
No, it's not because that line could die. It could die.
That's not playing the game.
But that's what you're doing.
Anyway,
not.
You're
Mormons-
assuming it lives 100% of the time.
Mormons forever, right?
No.
Well,
Lumi, you're assuming it lives 100%.
I'm not
of the
about
time.
assuming I live. I'm just reading the word unsuspend says extra
But that's
check.
not an extra check.
did you know that?
That's not an extra check.
I will swear to God, I will turn this podcast around.
You just need to turn around and shut the fuck up.
That's not an.
He's continuing.
It's not an extra check. It could potentially be an extra
But
check.
guys, we agree to disagree because you just keep getting up and volume, up and volume, up and volume. It's never going down. Agree to
Anyways.
disagree and move on,
Amy's two
please.
choices are Machine Your Mon or Ice Snow.
Yeah.
Because
What's
I'm
our
wary of
opinions
your
on these?
neighbours.
I think it's play Ice Snow, Amy, just because Machine Your Mon is gonna end in a draw.
Yeah, probably.
This is why I was trying to bring it
I
down.
need to play
I know
them
it.
both more.
You could do like Ice Snow, like OTK though.
I know.
You need to try the vaccine stuff in it, actually.
I
the
do want
bottom
to try
one.
the vaccine stuff because I do think it'll be really good with a Venus and just for other
This is a fun thing.
You can't, no.
You can't play the game. Thanks.
Venus, Patamons.
I mean, you've got Patamons you're borrowing off Trev.
Yeah, just need to build it.
Yeah, you're actually letting my entire angel deck at the moment.
I didn't ask for the entire angel deck.
No, I just couldn't be bothered
Could you
taking
run
them out of
time
sleeves
on
and
it?
stuff. So.
Time on is.
It's not a vaccine.
It's a
It doesn't matter about that, though, but you can just hard play them and then play a scramble and Digital Strain in the Venus one.
You just wouldn't want to.
To be fair, technically, is Venusmon a vaccine?
Yes, that's why it's played in yellow vaccine, Trevor.
I just wanted to check. I don't run Venusmon in my deck. I just wanted to check.
But I think you could make an OTK version of the deck.
100%, yeah. Because the amount of memory gain you get off the
I don't
vaccine
think-
side of it.
I don't think the OTK version lives in the yellow vaccine, though. It lives more in the blue version.
Nah, it is true, because the yellow vaccine version kind of goes, okay, I'm going to put your Digimon to get rid of them into your security, and the yellow vaccine goes, and then on top of that, I'm going to use my security as a resource and just constantly recover into.
You say that, though, but like Padamon's going to let you go into level 4 for free, which is going to let you
Plus
go into
two.
level 6 for a lot cheaper.
It's not +1.
Which you
Plus
then
two.
can
You
can
gain
do
a memory from
2
the thing you
checks and
digivolve, and
spend
you
2
gain a memory
checks.
from the inheritable.
Oh yeah, because you have Frigimon and stuff.
Yeah, six of the
I forgot about that.
six of the
but-
9 level
It
4s
is
we
a
plan on
plus
putting
two.
that deck gain a memory when they're digivolved into. Like,
And I can't wait for every time it be one of the 3 that doesn't.
No, what I can't wait for is we've been talking
I
about
will weird out.
them very few specific decks that can run them. There are, memory blockers and cost prevention blockers, and it's just the first game. So I raised this memory prevention one. And he's just like,
Adam, what are your choices for regional?
I have a lot.
Well, that's the end of the podcast.
maybe it's turning this podcast around. Goodbye, guys. See you tomorrow.
No, I have a lot. I don't even know where to start, really. I have a similar choice to Trevor, or similar. I have the same choice to Trevor of Rapidmon. Obviously, it took me to top 32 in Ultimate Cup.
We have very different, tech options, and for some reason my tech options work for me and don't work for you.
It's just from
I don't
styles
run.
off
I
it.
don't run tech options in Rapid, Trevor.
It doesn't work for you.
Like, I just keep it consistent.
And it doesn't work for you.
It seemed pretty consistent.
It took me to top 32.
Not first.
It took me to top 32. How
How many Galmon players did you face?
Not one.
Well, that would be why.
Yeah,
Um,
that is a problem for the deck. So
I think the decks I lost to were Black Hybrid Mothers and it was something just before I
You've
played
talked about
Shine,
Rapid
I think.
already, though, so what are your other choices?
Yeah.
I really am interested in Ghosts from BT20. I think it looks very fun. I think it looks very strong. I just am worried that it gets completely turned off by Red Purple Imperial
Now,
because
question about Ghosts.
they manifested the card out of thin air. They did. It doesn't exist. Yes?
How many arms and where's its face?
hang on as well.
It's a corporeal being.
Can we point out something else? In Magic, you play Manifest Red. Now you're going to Manifest Ghosts.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
what,
okay.
I
literally,
know, I'm joking around.
you haven't caught up to the comic.
I haven't. I'm working on it, guys.
You have no idea what I've just said.
No, I'm in
Um,
the 3v3 battle at the minute, guys. I'm getting there, okay?
Get there quick. Take an hour.
Or you
Take
need
an hour.
essentially spoiler warning.
Don't spoil
No.
it. Don't spoil it.
It's not that big.
I don't care. Don't spoil it. It is big.
It's fine, man. I'm going to get there eventually.
Don't spoil it. It doesn't
We
need
can
spoiled.
talk about it now.
I love how he's saying don't spoil it for you and it's you that cares. Do you want it spoiled or not? It's literally not even that important.
It's fine. Honestly,
We don't
I'll
want to
get
spoil
there.
it
Don't
for
worry about it.
reviewers.
Hence why I say spoiler warning.
It doesn't.
It's fine. It's fine. I will get there within the next couple of days because I don't have a lot of free time.
He doesn't need told. Is more
I
the
don't know what
issue.
we're spoiling.
Oh,
Next
really?
few days you don't have free time.
Yeah, I don't have free time,
'Cause
but I will get there.
Needs free time to read. I don't have free time. But I'll get there in a couple of days. Implying I have free time.
Yeah, I sacrifice sleep for my free time.
Anyway. Anyway. What else am I thinking about? Fenry. the BT14 style, because fuck Takamika.
How are you feeling about Pebbles?
Awful. It's so bad. It's still in the running, but it's bad.
Because
I'm
that's
not
an
going
inside
with it.
joke, he means pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they have what is it, fracture or whatever. And they're all-
Fragment.
Fragment. I make the joke of them being Pebbles. I make the joke of them being.
I think what made you realise how bad they were is when we swapped decks. And it probably felt as if you were playing against a bot.
No, not really. I realised how
Like
the deck isn't bad. It's just
Wait, hold on.
very.
I won with it.
It's just very one-noted.
You did.
I actually won with it, I forgot.
You rolled that stone up the hill.
Pebbles at regionals.
I'm Pebbles.
There you go. You rolled that rock up the hill.
You play Gallon.
No. Anyway, the point is, it just
I'm not, like,
doesn't
force my
feel.
backs on them.
It doesn't feel good enough. It requires too many pieces. It requires the game to go
I'm
on.
sorry because how close his hand is. Like you literally just like your hand stopped there. Like
It's 2 checks. The issue with rocks is it just needs
There's two
the
checks on
game.
rocks.
It's more than that. It needs too many.
Actually,
it needs
it's
the
one
game to
check.
go.
I can resist. Continue.
It needs the game to go on too long because it requires you to use at least 2 or 3 eggs.
There's no form of removal either.
There's no form of removal.
It does harm.
well, no,
though.
there is a form of removal. It's just too low a
terrible.
level.
It's terrible. Too low a play cost.
On
If
top
it
of
was
it,
level 4 lower, that would actually be good because you could de-digivolve down to a level 4 and
Don't
delete.
even makes it question. Why
deleting-
is it not level when it's got so much DD?
I don't think I've ever struggled against it. Now and again, it comes out of nowhere and it kills me. Yes, but like
Can't you
really
try and run,
struggling
like,
against it,
goes
I've
and
never.
To try and get for your.
No matter what deck I've played, like it just seems like it's.
It's not specifically the eggs. I mean, it means like it requires me to get so far in a game that I've gotten like 2 or 3 lines to have those pieces in trash. It's not so much the egg specifically, although the egg is one of the best inheritables to trash. It's more the fact that it needs kind of egg to rookie to level 4 out of breeding
Yeah,
a
but, like,
couple of times,
I played
not
against-
specifically just, cycle through eggs.
I played against you a couple of times on it. Sorry, go ahead and you go first.
No, I mean just like with going there, at least you can get like those swings in. They might just need and
But
get them
puts
faster.
them in.
Again, it's not the swings it needs the trash build up. It needs the game to go on too long to build up the trash in order for you to get the OTK line.
Basically, in other words, it's an OTK deck that needs to rely on grind game with no way to
Yeah.
get to the grind game.
It is.
It's not even no way to get to the grind game.
It's a fair
I've thought about
OTK
it, but
deck.
like it's
It's a fair OTK
the
deck.
space
It's a fair
is
OTK.
bad.
Yeah.
It's the new Gallon.
The space is bad. If the unfortunate thing is because it's kind of
Yeah,
purple
right.
without being purple. It's purple without being purple because
I think with
the-
the
you don't
I think-
trash all the way through your line. You trash by dying.
I think they were just
From
trying
yesterday.
to focus on the mechanic this time around, and then maybe
But-
the next wave will be
Oh,
better.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
mechanic.
sure. Closest the villain for the next.
The mechanic was fine, but like every time I played against you, I never felt like I was super struggling against it. Yes, as I said before,
It doesn't-
if it can come out of nowhere
Sure.
sometimes
We're
where it just
manifesting
has
again.
everything and just like I
We're
mean,
manifesting again.
It doesn't
Or
put your
manifest.
opponent
Yeah,
in a
it's
tight
like
enough
Gallon was fair
position
to a
to
big
feel
boost.
like it can
Close
win
Gallon is
first.
the next
That's
villain.
exactly
I don't know
yeah.
about
It's
that
gonna
one.
be-
It just always
Frost
feels
needs a
like
lot.
it either comes out of nowhere or it just.
It's trying to get an
loses.
overpowered Axe antibody line. That's what's going to happen.
That's what's gonna happen.
It's going to get an Axe antibody line.
It's not going to get next on.
Imagine the
Manifest
trash
the
you could do
Gallon,
there.
It's gonna happen.
That would
It's
actually
not
be
going to get an
perfect.
next antibody line.
Guys,
That would
look,
actually be
we
perfect.
stop.
It's not going to happen.
So
Imagine
any-
how many unsuspended you get there with the massive stack.
Can we at least
Anyway, regardless of past rocks. I don't care about rocks. I'm not playing up past rocks.
That's fine. That's fine. But what I was saying is, can we stop manifesting support for rocks and start manifesting support for Alter S?
No.
I got my Belfamon support
That's
already. It's been a while.
Huh?
Anyway,
So
I don't even
power.
know what other decks.
It's because it helps you as
Oh,
well.
my Belfamon.
Something with dog engine with whatever top end you feel.
I mean, to be fair, that's pretty much a lot of things.
I think I was also thinking about I say Fenrir already?
Yeah,
I
you did. You didn't
yeah.
go into detail on it, but you did say Fenrir, yeah.
Yeah. Purple
fun
hybrids I
stuff.
have access to, but I'm not really fond of it. Like, there's a lot of decks, like Demon Lords I have access to, but I'm not really fond of it. Like, those two are probably the top tier decks I have access to, but it's kind of like you with
Dinos.
Dinos I have access to, but it's not top. I'm like,
It's fun.
Dinos,
It's fun.
you've literally placed the best you've placed in like 6 months. Dinos.
I came top 32 with Rapidmon.
We're talking about locals though.
To be fair, top 32 with Rob one's pretty good.
Like, I just think that with Purple Hybrid and Demon Lords, like, they're probably the best decks I have access to. I'm just not excited for them at all. I don't enjoy playing them, and I can't be bothered with them, honestly.
I'm actually surprised, because, like, Demon Lords, like, you played pretty well.
I played pretty well.
It's just
I don't think I
fun.
enjoyed a game with Demon Lords once.
Purple hybrids.
Yeah,
He just said
Never
that
gone to
he
play it.
doesn't.
No.
Sorry, I was
I've
responding.
never played Purple Hybrids with physical cards
Sorry, I wasn't
before.
listening because I was it's that bit because I was responding to the fact that I've had the one person email me 4 times the exact same email.
Cool.
It's the same issue I have with Round Dances. It's a gimmick. I would rather I love the gameplay mechanic of digivolving and drawing a card, and you just don't get that in Round Dance.
Doesn't give you that like nice feeling. of
Yeah, like
drawing,
see digivolving, drawing a card, digivolving for free, drawing a card. It feels so good.
Especially in X antibodies where you're like
Yeah.
zero,
That's what makes Gallon
two,
feel so
zero.
good. Like Guillermo. Okay.
Some
Guillermo
makes
X,
Melga feel so
okay.
good as well.
Growl X, War Growl X. I've drew half my deck.
Probably
And
Greymon feels good
I've
for
put
that
you
as
to
well.
0 security with no
What a
effort
no.
whatsoever.
Numamon I was thinking about.
Oh yeah, that's
Using
right. Sorry, you always
Galaxy
go
as his top
Grey
one.
Axe and then draw the Grey.
It's not even about going grey X and drawing the grey.
Divas.
On Greymon, you go Argo X grey, grey X, metal grey X. Where the fuck's my level 6?
Sorry, on top of that,
This man wants me to play Davis.
technically
Davis.
it's different now
Davis.
because it goes Agumon,
Davis.
Algo Axe,
Divas.
Greymon, Algo Axe,
Stop.
Greymon, Algo Axe, Greymon.
Maybe
Sovereigns.
that'd be Greymon,
Divas.
Argomon, Argo X, Greymon, Argomon.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
They're divas.
Sorry, I forgot you can build like a
Where's
20
your
card line.
Sagittarius one?
We haven't reached that far, we're still in level 3s.
Cool.
Over the Greymons.
Cool.
Should have went to the shop and had a drink.
Like,
It's home time, Mimi. Calm down.
No.
There's probably no shops open at this time.
The 24 beside their house is open, or Adam's house is open.
Yeah, she's already basically at Adam's house at that point.
anyways, I have a lot of deck choices. I'm not.
I feel like what you said
Confirmed.
earlier, like you've maybe done like 2 hands, and you said you needed all of our hands.
I thought it was more than that. I feel like I have
I
considered
haven't-
more than that, and I'm just forgetting some of
I
them.
feel like you've talked about
Alphamon,
4 or 5.
I
yeah.
could play like Alphamon's a consideration.
He's on the second round now.
Shine Greymon.
Shangri-Mon is not a consideration.
Why not?
No.
I don't think it's good enough. I love Shangri-Mon
the only
with all my
way-
heart. I do not think it's good enough.
The only way Adam is playing Shine Greymon at Glasgow is if he cheats. By printing BT21 cards.
You were glazing.
BT21, it'll be beautiful. It will be so good. It'll
Why
be
don't you,
so good.
Why don't you try X1? You were glazing the fuck out of that deck. You thought that deck was going to be tier 1.
I tried it on Drizzle. I don't like it. I still think it's good. I just don't like it.
Wow.
I like that there, though. To be fair, that's honesty there, right there.
I'm
Though, right?
it's so straight. Not even like, how can I get myself out of this? Just
Nah, I don't like it.
don't like it.
It's the exact same as like Imperial. Like, I'm not a big fan of DNA decks, I'm gonna be honest. It was the exact same with
Yeah.
red purple, blue green. The only DNA deck I've actually really liked that I've played in the past is Mastamon.
Hi.
You have
Hi.
Sylphimon as well.
What?
You have Sylphimon.
I have
Sylphie's-
Sylphimon. It's okay. I'm gonna be honest. It's okay. It reminds me of Mastamon a bit, but the issue I always
that
have,
It's just that
The-
Gatomon. That Gatomon
It's the
scratches
Gatomon.
that edge.
the issue I always have with Sylphimon is that its lower end is really inconsistent. Really inconsistent. Like,
You don't have as good as playstyle as, Vmon, Wormmon.
No, I can
Stay
do.
more.
I can do that.
DNA.
I can do
Not a
that.
lot.
I just have half as many end of turn DNA inherits.
Well, what I was going to say as well, though, is on top of that, though, you don't have the 50 million searchers.
No, I have a lot of searchers in Digimon. The issue is, my searchers are not the ones that have end of turn DNA printed on them.
Okay, got
Yeah.
you. Yeah, fair.
One of them is. The others don't have that.
There was that video I linked to you. You probably didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. What was the point of me even linking it to?
I know.
Galamons have end of turn DNA.
So weird.
They used the Silpimon up to level 5, and then the top end was
Birds.
Oryukin.
I saw that in...
Yeah.
No, I did watch that video, because they played it against Ghosts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, I did watch that video. I hated their Ghost list. I remember that now.
To be fair, though,
Um,
that's one thing as well. I haven't had any reveals that I'm super excited to build a deck on anytime soon.
You know the sad part.
Relatable.
You know what the sad part is, Trev? Yeah. No, whoa. You say relatable. No. You've got a metal Greymon. It's better for your bloody machine drum than it is.
We're not talking about updating decks. We're talking about new decks, as in, like, you know,
Amy
new
sent us
lines.
after literally just building Ice Snow. That was like a month ago.
But I mean, like, out of all
I
of
didn't think it was
us,
gonna be.
I'm gonna be
anything
honest,
special,
she's been looking forward to that deck since this time last year when the
Yeah.
fucking novels came out that had the Scatimon in it, though.
but
I
out
saw
of
Skyward,
all,
I was
out of
like,
all of
my
us,
heart,
realistically,
my
the only
Like, that's
one
how
I
long
have
ago
looked at
that
is
card got
Heavy Metal
revealed
Drum.
before we got it.
Was it really a year ago?
It was
It
the
was
novel
like
chapters
April.
were last April, so almost, yeah.
But honestly, like with all the new stuff that's getting revealed in 21, it's just like when I read about the set, I was so hyped, and so
Yeah,
far the
no.
reveals, I'm just like,
Everything else.
Adventure.
I'm a deflated.
Adventure.
I'm slowly
Adventure.
becoming a deflated balloon about the set. Like,
The good thing is
we're
Alliance.
together and not the other stuff.
but no, it was all together and stuff. But it was like, it's all like they're all the same.
I'm gonna be
I
honest.
wanted more uniqueness
all
between
of the-
everything.
I'm gonna be honest. All of the stuff we've gotten for BT21 in terms of all the hero cards, they look pretty good for all of their individual decks.
Cool.
I think it's going to be like a Emperor Grey from BT18 situation where, yeah, cool, they're made for this deck to be all together, cool. I'm just going to play Red Hybrids
Cool.
though.
Yeah, they all look cool for their own individual decks. You know which one doesn't look cool for its own individual deck? The one deck I was hoping for the most, Greymon. That one. We got a white tie that was not even for Greymon.
Doesn't mean we won't get a red.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Hang on, though, as well.
Plus, we get a tie in the decks just before it
Melga's
comes
pure
out.
purple. Whatever.
Great support
Look,
for
you
Omnius,
you
though.
wanted purple.
To be fair, I did want purple Guru.
Great support
cool,
for Omnius, though. I can now get an Omnius for 4 memory.
Cool. I sit here in pity and waiting
We
for
love that
Greymon's
for you,
triumph
Trevor.
return.
You
We love
lit-
that for you.
like, I feel
Like
like
if
it's not
The love
happening
child.
until EX10.
Of DNA.
I-
Cool, that's Blackwall. It's like one Greymon.
I'm gonna be honest, you were better on Black War than Greymon
With-
anyway. It was,
was.
always your better playstyle. It's like
I was.
No, I know I was, but Greymon.
It is the way you said it. You were like, I was.
It wasn't
Like,
when it
I know.
I mean,
I'm the belle of the ball.
like, no, it wasn't when it came off that way. But no, I know I was better on Blackwall, and
The voice suddenly gets deeper. I've been there.
I'm fully aware that I was better on Blackwall, but I like Greymon, I like War Greymon, and I want that
I
deck to
want
be
my
better.
grandma.
Yeah, and it's just like I want War Greymon to be better. And it's just like every support, it's like
make it better.
that's been even
Put
remotely
Galvax at the top.
shown. No, because there was a deck profile with that.
all the support for Greymon is white.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally, you say put Gallant X at the
I'm
top.
only joking.
No, you say that, Trev. Literally,
you
I
weren't
watched the
there.
deck profile. It was like EX8 War Greymon. I'm like, cool. Maybe someone's forced something that I haven't. And I'm sitting there watching the deck profile on the level 3s, level 4s, level 5. It's the same old thing that we've had for ages. Like, cool, yeah. Maybe something will change to level 6s. Playing 2 BT12. Okay, that's unusual. Playing 2 War Grey X. Okay. And 2 Gallant X. Oh, cool. So we're just playing Gallant X and a War Grey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
To be honest, though, like, now, I kind of, like, I haven't been excited for any new decks, apart from Heavy Metal Draw. That's the only one I've sort of like bounce to lately.
Yeah, I haven't really played it though.
Yeah, I haven't built it yet. That's probably why.
There's a lot of decks that I've been excited for, like initial read or initial release, and I'm like in my head, I'm like, I want to do a build that's like this, that kind of works like that, and I put it together, it's like it doesn't work anything.
The,
like
the
this,
only
so-
the only other one was bees, but that was a share project between us, kind of that you've come with to most of the cards for.
I'm gonna be
I feel
honest.
like
I was super hyped for BT20 because Jessmon is one of my decks, Alphamon is one of my decks, Chaosmon is one of my decks, Paris Imperial is one of my decks.
Royal Knights.
Is there another one?
Gallant.
Royal Knights.
Oh wait, what?
Royal Knights is a deck I have. And
No, you love Royal Knights for all the
hype
people that
was
give you the cards.
destroyed when I found out Oryukin is a terrible DNA deck. Jessmon is a terrible DNA deck.
You say that. I sat on the Judge Discord reading through a fucking 20,000 paragraph long ruling debate on those cards in that Oryukin DNA deck on how they're worded.
But yeah,
Which one?
Pretty much all of them, because all of them say during it. To get the cliff notes, basically they're the only cards that say during an attack
Yeah.
that don't specify during their attack. Because the way the option card works, there was a debate essentially. You can see if you want a debate essentially of
You think I'm gonna be able to find it?
the line dies. You swing with the line dies. You trigger the option card all before end of attack because it's before end mid attack. It dies. Trigger the option card to raise a new one and digivolve into one of the same. The example was Greymon dies. You use the option card, raise, digivolve into a new Greymon. Greymons when digivolving does it see during an attack, or is it implied that it's meant to be its own attack, or is it just because it's still in the during attack window? Does it trigger or not? Just swipe up. You'll see how far it goes.
honestly,
Just because it's a rule number doesn't mean it's a good deck though.
I-
I'm excited about Chaos one. I think that's cool. Is it
I'm
weird?
hoping the Cyber Sleuth sets do release some stuff though that I'm excited for.
Yeah,
Like new decks, some new decks, maybe that I'd be excited for, stuff like that. But
There's
There's
still
like
a-
Melgreer and Greymon, so
There's still a lot of.
yeah, just
He's
upgrading.
talking. He wants a whole new deck that he wants.
yeah, I know. I want a new deck though. I want something different that is not the same ones I normally play.
I'm gonna be honest. There's still a lot of BT21 still to be revealed.
Yeah. I would say I'm just hoping for something. I would say I want to get Heavy Metal Drop and running just so that I have something new to play and see, like, because I'm planning to run it with like some of the Purple Gurumon stuff to help speed up.
what about Bloom Lord?
I thought you were building that.
How about you play Bloom Lord?
You should build it.
Honestly, like, as much as I would like to build Bloom Lord,
You
because
should build it. You'd be really good on Bloom Lord.
I'd
It's really your playstyle.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like you would be able to create like a really good Bloom Lord list. Like,
Like, actually-
you're a very good deck builder, so you'd be able to just make it. Especially with the new Lilymon coming out
it's
with
okay,
Alliance.
but
I don't think
it's
a lot of
fine.
ones like good in Bloom Lord.
It is okay. I saw what you looked at and it is okay.
I don't
What
think
did
the
you look
Lily
at?
ones are good in Bloom Lord.
I was reminding myself because you said about the tie we're getting the structure deck. I was reminding myself what I did. It's like, yeah, cool. Gives everyone my
Adventure.
gives all my adventures blockers called Greymon or gets blocker
And on top of that, it's
because of a tie. Greymon's never going to be good again.
to be fair,
Robin, he's a new card.
it'll get there.
Shine, on the other hand, is going to get really good.
It will get there.
Okay.
Look, you have to remember,
What's this
the first like 11 to 12 sets was all Greymon Gurumon.
The first 14.
Sorry, first 14 sets was all Greymon Gurumon. I mean, we can't ask for everything.
We're not even at like double that length yet.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Now wait your turn.
We've had all our support. At least we get new Omnis.
Look. All I ask for as compensation, Bandai, is give me Greymon X back.
Honestly,
Give me Geo Greymon back.
do give him Greymon X back. I feel like Greymon X could come back.
I think Geo Grey could come back.
I'm not wanting a further decks, I promise.
I think the Mega Digimon Fusion can come back, and I can play it in my Omni Zoo deck.
I think
I
you're an
want
assassin trying to kill a
Krampus.
Digimon card game.
Have you really liked Yu-Gi-Oh that much?
Is there anything we're all most looking forward to in an upcoming set?
Ghosts. I'm really, really looking forward to Ghost. I think it's going to be a very, very fun deck.
I honestly don't know. I haven't really been... Like, although I've been seeing reveals, I haven't really been paying attention to when they're coming out. So it's kind of like...
I mean, to be honest, like, honestly, there's always this Flag Race I'm looking forward to. It's coming out. But outside that, like, say, Examon, Blue Flare.
I suppose Shine.
Terms 21, just to slightly remind myself.
BT21 Agumon.
Yeah,
I'm so
the
excited for
other
Alliance
ones.
and the Shingra.
Just specifically that Agumon or the
That's not even
Agumon.
It's
21,
ST.
that's a
It's
structure deck.
ST21.
I
You're
know,
thinking.
but I'm still just like.
Is it
I'm
in
so
the starter
excited
deck?
for
It's
it.
started at 21.
Even better. If you have the old tier,
Oh, sorry, no. Sorry, yeah. There is something in 21 I'm looking forward to. Sorry, my bad. New Vmon for
the Metal
Magna.
Greymon.
No.
Oh.
That's a structure deck card.
Oh, yeah.
We just
Yeah.
said that before.
New
But
Coromon, new Cinnamon as
I'm
well.
going Alliance with Mother.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
excited.
that's actually.
I'm going to Alliance with Mother.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to top
I
it. Shoot
actually
him,
forgot.
make the suspended Mother and blocker.
The Metal Grey is actually a really good sport for Omnis.
yes,
Look,
it is.
Look, Shiro. You get all the Omni support. I get none of the Omni support.
There's also the Dark Dramon
He plays all the
Ace
Omni
as well,
decks.
which
No, he
gives all
doesn't.
my Omnimons collision.
He doesn't. He plays all but one of the Omnimon decks. And the one Omnimon deck he doesn't play, I play. And it gets fuck all.
I just decided not to play the bad one.
It was good before the Omni ES came out, and then instead of like incorporating it in the flipping, here look,
Is
Alter
that
S support.
Apparently, I thought that was structure deck.
Unless they've made an updated rarity.
No, it is BT21.
I thought that Metal Grey one was structure deck.
Well.
You're probably going to get two
I
now.
Which means,
honestly remember
which means that where Garurumon is structured,
Mhm.
BG21. Okay.
Can you get?
Enough.
Are the Agumons definitely starter deck?
Well, they're not here.
They're definitely starter deck. I know for a fact they're starter deck.
I'm looking forward to Puppet S.
If
I
your
feel like
opponent
Puppet S will be really cool. Because
Really?
vegetation.
Oh yeah, the Wingard.
Oh.
I forgot about the Wingard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
But every ace that has black in it says de-digivolve by X amount and then delete something.
yeah, it's kind of
bottom
cool though
deck
that
something,
it's
or
black
bind
green
something.
and it's got vegetation as a rule. Which is
Just
kind of
vegetation.
cool. Which
It would
is
actually
probably good
ma-
for Leopard. in
Yeah,
that
you could go
build.
back plant base.
You know about this Agumon?
Yeah.
You mean the Agumon that sadly...
I mean, just
Greymon.
reboot. That's about all that's good, right?
Oh, no. It's so the Agumon and Goblimon of the structure decks are essentially
Just
the
also
BT14 and BT15 Wargreymon Metal Garurumon, but on the rookie.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if your opponent has a Digimon with 10,000 DP or more, while you have a team that's got 3 or
Easy
more
peasy.
Oh,
total
so you can
colours,
just go. Ah,
you
that's cool.
warp Digivolve.
I can't wait to warp Digivolve to.
Here's the downside about them, Trev.
Okay.
So compared to like a lot of stuff in the past, well, downside for the Agumon mainly because obviously we have the Greymon. We can't Digivolve with a Coromon in name.
Yeah, but you can just...
Oh,
I know I see the red, but it's a Venture or Hero for the back text box.
Sorry, I wasn't even reading that.
Yeah, but
I
Digivolve
was
to
reading-
red, that's all matters.
Yeah, but you can't do the Greymon.
I'm going to be
thing,
honest. That's really gimmicky and it's not used a lot. Like, you use that in Agumon, you use that in Omnius. You don't typically... Like, you don't really use that in...
Can I read
Greymon.
the Greymon?
It's an option, but it's not, like, something you build with in
I'm
mind
just
of,
curious.
right?
Gabumon, sorry. Gabumon. Sorry.
All I'm
For, like,
saying is,
intentional purposes, you know what I mean?
if you have 3 colours on your tamers, and your opponent has a 10k more Digimon, you raise the Agumon, you have the old Mat and tie, you then raise the Agumon with 4 memory, you Digivolve into Wargrey, you then play out
was
the
almost
Goblimon
good.
from your trash, you then use the
Almost.
Wargrey's
Why
effect to
not?
Digivolve into Metal Garurumon, then you DNA
There's
into
another
Omnius for
Greymon
4
that says
memory.
for every 4 cards in your
Keep in
hand, get a
turn.
memory back. But
Sorry.
it's blue. It has to
You can
be
actually
full of
you
it.
can attack with the Wargrey, I guess. So that's one check. You go into
Ignores
the
divination
Omni.
requirements, not
That's
color.
then
That's a requirement.
2
No,
a trash
it's not.
then
I
check
don't think-
unsuspended another check. How many?
I don't
That's
think
4
you can-
checks.
Adam,
Then you go into Omni X and do the last
ignore Digivolution
For-
requirements means you also ignore
for
colour.
5 memory or something. It's pretty good.
I don't think it does.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because
Color is counted
Yeah.
as a Digivolution requirement.
so you can all that.
Sadly, it only goes over blue, which is annoying. But
No, he was
No,
on about,
no,
there's a metal Garurumon that gives you memory back for so many cards in hand, but he has to go over a bloom, like, ignores Digivolution requirements. He's like,
Surely that doesn't count for colour, is what I
Yes.
said.
Color is counted as Digivolution requirements.
the requirement to Digivolve is colour, so therefore you ignore the requirement.
Digivolution requirements are as follows: color, level, and then
Cost.
cost.
Yeah,
Like,
but it
basic-
says for the cost of 4 ignoring devolution requirements, so...
not as in like, more as in like
This isn't actually that bad.
whether it be bubble or black box or effect, whatever the cost is, you pay it. Like,
Can I have a glass of water?
people
Sure.
are like I've seen online people are going crazy about these cards because
The
they're
Gabo is much better.
they're
I
so
must say.
power crept. But like
Who is this person?
Starter deck 7 Gearmon has been doing
This
this from the
person.
very start.
TDS Northern Ireland.
Ooh.
We are updating your email as requested to now access your TDS online account.
Sounds like spam.
Spam? Spam? They've emailed me 8 times. The first email actually has a whole email. Every other email since then is a quote of the original email.
Yeah, but you have to also remember what time it was sent up.
Thank you.
It's definitely spam.
Yeah, at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 100% spam.
100% spam.
Do you know a TDS? Like, so
I have never heard of them in my life.
Anyway,
Are we wrapping this up?
yeah, I think we've ran out of things to really discuss.
I have work in the morning.
I have work in the afternoon.
I have to get up at 7.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm used to that, so
Guys, the next time you see or hear from us, we'll be in Glasgow.
Well, no.
Playing the decks that we probably shouldn't have.
4 of us will be in Glasgow. One of us might be dead.
What?
It'll be one of either me or you. But no, I think that's everything to really discuss.
This might be dead. Look, guys, we can't guarantee our health and well-being until Glasgow.
Trevor will be sick.
Trevor will be sick, yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
we can guarantee that Trevor will be sick.
What? Guys, come on.
Trevor gets sick every time he gets time off, and he's
Trevor's
got time
sick
off from
right now,
Glasgow.
he just doesn't know it yet.
I am not, actually.
I don't know.
And
Those veins are looking purple.
See, we keep Trevor in the friend group to build up our own antibodies to new pathogens.
That is not true whatsoever.
Wow.
Ever since I started hanging out with people, I've been sick fucking 3 times in 8 months.
Wasn't my fault.
I've been sick in a while.
The first time it was scary because the last time you were sick before that, you lost your hearing.
That is true, yeah.
And then you turned around and told me that
And
when
we're
you
getting
felt
rid
like
of
oh,
So, one last thing to finally wrap this up.
no.
Scale of 1 to 10, how excited you are for Glasgow?
20. I'm excited.
20.
On a scale of 1 to 10 that's now officially broken, how excited are you for Glasgow?
I don't know, 10? Yeah, fixing it.
Means a lot less now,
Scale of
doesn't
1
it?
to 10.
21.
How's your 20 feeling over there?
On a broken scale of glass, because they've shattered it all, there's nothing now to weigh, how excited are you for Glasgow?
100. Honestly, no. I'm excited, but I feel like it's also kind of.
I love how at least one person added additional comments onto this, to help drag it
Yeah.
out a bit.
I thought we were just doing a really cute,
It's
finishing off here.
I'm
I don't know.
excited to share the house with everyone and have a bit of fun.
I'm excited for all that stuff. I'm a bit
I wanna
worried
taste Alan's
that
cooking.
no matter what, I feel like I'm worried about no matter what I pick, I'm like it's just not going to work the way I want it to.
That's the thing, though. Like, you're just going to have to go in with.
Oh, 100%. I'll get over it.
20 glasses, that's meant to do.
Is
It's not
it?
enough. Yeah.
Don't worry, I like my juice strong as well. It's never enough.
Yeah, 20.
It's going to be 3 with how much he uses it.
I just buy the bottles.
Anyway, yeah. So
This is
yeah,
for all
I'm
carry
the
that
go.
around
worried.
me.
I'll get
This is for
over
all
it.
the go.
I've done big tournaments before. It'll be fine.
That's fine.
I mean, also, one thing.
Scale 1 to 10, how excited are you for Glasgow?
Excitement wise, 10. Nervous? 10.
Why are you nervous? You're going
If
to
you're
be the
not
best
ner-
of all us.
If you're
You're
not,
returning a top 8 player. Why are you nervous?
You're really so
Anyway,
famous.
guys.
Because I'm on a deck that I'm not. Let's put it obvious. I think the deck, out of all the decks that we're probably thinking, I think I have the most underdog.
look, guys, we are one short of 2 full teams for the team event, so we're all
It's not
good.
the Vortex. I'm not Vortex.
I'm sorry, we have Lara. Yeah,
I'm
we have.
sorry. Even
We have
then,
Laura,
I don't
and then
think
we
you have the most
backup
underdog
of
deck.
7.
I
Have
feel.
you seen my options?
I'm going to be honest.
I feel like you should have done the podcast with all
all
the
4
people
of
from our
you
group.
are pretty tier, like, not
Well,
tier
maybe
not
one.
Lara.
fitting in
Maybe Lara.
I'm the only
Yeah.
one that has
You're-
tier 1 decks at the moment.
Well, we'll
Really?
see.
You
Realistically,
are the
realistically.
enemy. You are the problem, sure.
He's not the problem. Don't you
I
talk
played
to our
Gauntlet
show like
before, it was
that?
good. I played Varus and Pure before, it was good, and it just happened to get good.
Don't you talk to our show like that? He is not
I
the problem.
played Shine
He is the
before it got good.
solution to this.
Listen, if Dearborn was tier 1, I'd be playing Dearborn.
To be fair, honestly, I'd be playing Digimon as well. If it was
Yeah.
good.
Imagine how good
To be fair,
it would be.
Digimon is good. It just dies. Why do I have so many decks? It's just hard to lose to Medieval Gal.
You just like to play by effects.
Dearborn, you said
It's
Dearborn.
such a-
Yapper,
It's such a-
Digimon.
Anyway,
Master.
we're ending the video. We're ending the podcast. I just
Forever.
found myself about to go into a whole new discussion there.
I'm
And I
not-
had to remind myself. Anyway, guys.
Go on discussion if you wanted. I love how you.
Do you want to say we're doing a
it.
vlog? Did you mention it already?
I had to stop
Yeah, we
myself.
talked
He has mentioned the vlog.
Oh.
I have mentioned the vlog. I've mentioned like everything kind of stuff. Obviously, we would have loved to have talked about pre-release stuff today, but like as we said earlier,
Didn't happen.
Yeah.
Look, we got to talk about more
I know when we originally
regional
planned this
games.
podcast, it was like we can talk about pre-release,
It'll
And
be
that-
interesting.
and then this weekend happens. Like I guess we're not talking about pre-release.
Look,
Oh.
it
Oh,
was
actually, one thing to bring up. Actually, real quick, one thing. Sorry, no, it is important. I want to bring it up.
Important.
Mormons.
No, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important?
So we joked before about the 2.0 boxes that some have got. The first 2 boxes opened.
Fuck, okay, yeah.
Chase rare in each.
Yeah.
And then he tried to sell it to me.
I mean, to be fair,
To be
you're
fair-
the perfect person to try and sell it to.
To be
I'm
fair,
the one
also
that said
I
we're gonna
also-
try and sell it to you.
I also said to Connor to sell
Adam
it to
said-
you.
I would have wanted it, but it was Glasgow, so I couldn't get it.
I also said to Connor to sell it to you.
To be fair, it's quite hilarious.
I don't even know how much it's worth.
The other chase,
Connor says about 120.
the other chase fair is the Gallant, isn't it?
Hand free.
So that's the one we pulled that we
Gallant's
sold to him.
He's not buying a second one of those. He's not insane.
I could sell that one and get the Shadow Shropper.
Yeah, you could, but would you sell something that we worked so hard to sell to you?
Yes.
But think about all the hopes and dreams we put into that when we
How many
wanted you to
chase-
play it.
How
You
many
wouldn't.
chase rares have I got now? I've got Colin.
To be fair, we pulled one that we could have given.
Tide,
We had one that
Greymon.
Amy wanted to buy probably as well from
He's
our
got so
chase
many
fairs.
great
Omni.
ones.
Gallant,
Machindra.
I
Piedmon.
know. A nice
I
gold
don't have
machine drop.
Omni.
Yeah,
That
Well, I
was
was
before
thinking
my
the,
time.
I was thinking
gold
the,
drill
Serial
machine.
the
number.
serial number.
Gold machine. There is a gold
Oh,
machine
fuck.
one, isn't there?
I've got
gold.
2
Yeah.
war
It's gold
or 2 grey ones.
No, but there
now
is an actual gold machine drill. Isn't
that
there?
are secret chase
Is there?
rare.
Hmm.
What? Is
You
there a
got-
gold machine drop?
There's a gold gar. There's a gold.
Yes, it's the one you keep being like, oh, I wasn't around for it.
No,
No, I
the
mean the
actual
actual gold
Digimon
machine
is there a
design.
gold machine drill because there's a gold.
Like
cover.
named gold machine drop?
No.
Like you know the way
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
the
That was really
the like
good.
level 4 it has a gold version.
So yes, named gold machine
Yeah,
drop.
yeah.
No,
No?
there's not.
There's
golden-
not.
Okay, that's okay.
Sorry, I thought you were saying no, that's not what he's asking. So apologies on that.
No,
No,
they're
there is
saying no
not.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious because I was like, "Oh, gold chase fairy, you know."
No.
Cool.
No. The only gold machine drawer is the golden artwork machine drawer, the one that was the
Okay,
chase
no,
round
yeah,
BT.
that's okay. Then ignore me. I was just kind of curious.
But no.
I'll buy that off David.
He would not sell it. He loves
Well,
machine
I
drop.
think you have to maybe.
I
go
mean, he's
to
paying off
Manchester
a
for that.
he's paying off a wedding. He might.
Paying off. It should have been paid off by now.
Yeah, it's probably is paid off, but he needs some money. to
He's
come back.
married.
Yeah.
I would kind of hope. I don't think they.
But he
live-
had a second thing that he needed to do. That was the traditional one. He still has the actual another one on top of that.
I did not.
Well,
I
last
don't
time-
know what you're on about.
Last time I was talking to him, don't worry about it. We're not going to talk about it in the podcast.
Yeah.
Fair.
Share doesn't know who we're talking about.
No, he doesn't.
Like I said, I wish he met David.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm the
sound
medium.
us off.
That's
But
what I
then,
can tell.
yeah, I just wanted to bring up the chase rare thing real quick though, just because it was worth noting because how rare the chase rares are and the fact that there was 2 back to back in separate boxes.
I want my gold machine girl.
I think that should be a new Digimon
I'm
in the
fucking
new Digimon
everyone's-
stories, and we have golden machine
My
Dramon.
next words were about to be ending.
I'm everyone's fucking golden cash card saying she's like, oh, as soon as the fucking chase rare is pulled.
Who's trying to end?
Shut up.
Literally, my next words were going to be like just sounding off an ending vlog, and immediately just like conversation start like, guess I'm not ending now.
Look, we just love being here so much.
And I love having you here. Unless it's about certain topics. Looking at you.
Someone shit themselves in the second round of World Cup, and it fucking put me off my game. And that is why I lost the second round.
That was the third round
Me and Amy's just sitting chilling, looking at my deck.
the third round against me.
Was it against you on the third round?
Again.
That's why I lost that third round. Someone shit themselves right beside me and Amy.
it end.
I was like,
Just have
holy
it end.
fuck, what the hell is this?
So
You know
bad.
what? Put the sign in after the recording.
Just have it end.
So like roll of credits, like
It was fucking tears.
Right. Okay.
Hope you had a wonderful time. There might be another one, I don't know. I'm slowly going insane.
we might be dead.
Is this how I die?
I'm slowly going insane. Slowly. Hope you had a wonderful time. If you're going to be at Glasgow, let us know in the comments below, because this video goes live before Glasgow. I would hate to play out during it. As we said before, a new style of video coming out while we're at Glasgow if you want to watch it if you're not there.
Come say hello to us if you recognise us.
After all, one of you
Please
recognised
don't.
Adam.
It was quite nice, honestly.
You beat me.
Like I say, we could be trying to do some vlog stuff around, or even just taking pictures and just getting like B-shot stuff. So you might just see me walking around with my phone looking like a crazy man.
Don't say hi to him.
Just sitting there trying to get the shot. Just being like, cool, yeah, look at some B-roll of this, perfect. And cool, I've now got a fat ass in my way because someone just stepped in it. Cool, awesome. Gonna wait for him to move and get the shot again.
How can you be both in front of and behind the camera?
I've got another email from this person.
This Adam guy just won't shut the fuck up.
But yeah, we'll catch you all the next one. I don't know when we'll do the next one. Well, sorry, no. We're going to try and do one in Glasgow, like on the Sunday.
If that doesn't happen,
If that doesn't happen, it'll be another one here. It'll be like afterwards, and it'll be probably just the 5 of us again. Talking about our Glasgow experience like last time, as well as either before the podcast or followed after the podcast, a bunch of deck profiles of the decks we actually played on said day and finally decided to go with, as well as our rounds, results and stuff. We'll probably talk about both deck profiles as well as podcast.
You're also hoping to do the after regional podcast.
That's what I'm saying. It's either going to be that or it's going to be this. It depends
With all
on
of us.
yeah. But yeah, I hope to see you all then. See you for more deck profiles in the future, and I hope you enjoy the new style of video I'm going to be trying to do and stuff. But I hope you have a wonderful time. I'll catch you all next time here. I was about to say database. That's my gaming channel. Still kind of databasey, whatever. It's my normal thing.
Just goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'll catch you all later.
With Brooklyn.
I need alcohol. Bye.